I'm going to do it. I have made up my mind. These are the first few words of the new the best the longest text in the entire history of the known universe. This has to have over 35,000 words to beat the current world record set by that person who made that flaming chicken handbooky thingy. I might just be saying random things the whole time I type in this, so you might get confused a lot. I just discovered something terrible autocorrect is on. No, this has to be crazy, so I will have to break all the English language rules and the basic knowledge of the average human being. I'm not an average human being, however I'm special. No, not that kind of special. Why do people send that wink face? It always gives me nightmares. It can make a completely normal sentence creepy. Imagine you are going to a friend's house, so you text this, "See you soon." Seems normal, right? But what as you add the word semi to that colon? Is that right, or is it the other way around? What as you add a lorry to that briquettes? Semi-truck to that colon? Anyway, back to the point, see you soon. That is just so creepy. Is that really your friend, or is it a creepy stalker watching your every move? Or even worse, is it your friend who is a creepy stalker? Maybe you thought it was your friend, but it was actually your Friday end. Let me explain. You are happily in McDonald's, getting fat while eating yummy food, and some random dude walks up and blots out the sun. He looks like a regular here. You can't see anything else than him, so you can't try to avoid eye contact. He finishes eating his cheeseburger, more like horse burger. I learned that word from the Merchant of Venice, which is a good play, if you can understand it. I got a special book with all the words in readable English written on the side of the page, which is kinda funny, because Shakespeare was supposed to be a good poet, but no one can understand him, and he's racist in Act 2 Scene 1 of the play too, and sits down beside you, like you are old pals. You've never met him before, but he looks like he could be in some weird cult. He clears his throat, and asks you a very personal question. Can I have some French fries? I don't know why they're called French fries, when I've never seen a French person eat fries. All they eat is stuff like baguettes and crepes and rats named Ratatouille, which is a really fun game on the PlayStation 2. And you think, bubbly cloud thinking bubble ha 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 ha. He sigh. I remember that I was just about to eat one of my fries, when I noticed something mushy and moist, and, insert gross color like green or brown, on the end of one of my fries. Now I can give it to this nerd. Yes, he is a nerd, because all he does all day is watch the extended editions of The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, and eat fat cakes. What the heck is a fat cake? I think it might be like a Twinkie or something, and Twinkies, well doesn't really matter which is which, because he eats both. I may have just done that, so I didn't have to Google what a fat cake is. Right now I'm typing on my iPhone 3GS anyway, which has a broken antenna, so I can't get internet anyway. It's actually a really funny story, that I'll tell you sometime, and sit in his man cave with his friend named Joe, an actual friend, not a Friday end, and all Joe does is watch sports like football with Bob, and all Bob does is gamble ferociously. Don't ask. It means he buys all those bags of chips that say win a free monkey or something. If you find a banana in your bag, if there is a little star, it means there is fine print, so I always check the back of the package, *FLIPS over the package. Okay, it says, one of our workers accidentally threw a banana in the packing machine and we don't want to get sued, so we did this promotion thing. Cool. Oh wow, this is salt and vinegar, my favorite. I hate cheese and onion, and that's pretty much his life. He lives in Jamaica with Naruto and his friends, so you give him that gross Friday and he throws up all over you and me, and the worker behind the counter who was still making an onion. And that is the story of the Friday end, not a friend who somehow remembered your name and your phone number/email, so he could text you saying he would come to your house soon. Finally takes a breath, after typing a few hundred words about FRINDS*. So what now? I know, you think I ramble too much, and use too many brackets. I don't, but now I'm going to talk about my amazing day. First I woke up, ate Choco Pops for breakfast, even though I always hate it when people say that cause I get jealous and super hungry. Then that was my day. You know, that other person I mentioned before, that flaming chicken person. Well, I will steal something from that person, but do it better. I will drum roll, please. Crash. A drum roll was just playing in the background. That drum roll was so long I forget what I was talking about. SCROLLS up to see what he was writing about. Oh yay, I will make my own flaming chicken handbook. What things do I like? Instead of flaming it could be rainbow, instead of chicken it can be fluffy sheep, and instead of handbook it can be handbook. Not very creative, I know, but the total complete name is now the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook, to make life easier for you guys, instead of taking random rules out of Book Willie. Nilly. I will take them out using my favorite numbers. So, Section 5040 of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook states that the king of all oddly colored farm animals, that's me, is allowed to tell you any part out of this book randomly, or if it is one of his favorite numbers. 5040 is a great number, because it is divisible by 60 integers, which I don't know. I'm tired. It is 10:41, and I'm getting sleepy. Hey hey hey, an intruder. Remember that from Pocketball's Rulers of Time and Darkness or something like that, with Piplup and Sunflower and Chimchar. Wayo, Piplup is really hard to write on a tiny QWERTY keyboard. Try it. I realized that ASTF is actually written in order on the QWERTY keyboard. Just in case you didn't know, ASTF is an amazing short video clips cards anything on YouTube I first learned about on Flipnote Hatina, which is now shut down. What if one day they get rid of the QWERTY keyboard completely? I will type it out for you just in case one day they get rid of it. QWERTY. There you go. Goodbye. I'm back. I decided that I should tell you about fonts. I always used the same font for my whole life, called Arial. The reason is probably because it is on the top of the list in alphabetical order, and I was too lazy to scroll all the way down. Only a few months ago did I finally decide to change my mind. I scrolled for what seemed to be an eternity, and I finally got to Are You Ready Arial Black. Yep, that was my big scrolling adventure. Just yesterday, I was typing something on Google Docs, and I found the new best font, Roboto. It's great. I could choose from 5 different thicknesses. Isn't that amazing? Right now we are driving behind a really slow farm plastics collection. Sammy, I think I know someone obsessed with Pokemon, but I can't tell you who it is. He keeps making Pokeballs references and stuff. Wow, you are a very loyal reader. If you have really made it this far, then you get a gold star on your loyalty chart. Good job. This is looking to be the longest text ever. Considering that this was all written in one day. I don't understand sandwiches. If you were to eat bread, mayo and tomatoes separately, it would be disgusting. You know, all those fancy magazines/restaurants that always have really fancy food pictures with meat and Brussels sprouts, and all the old people say, wow, that looks great, and you think, bubble thing, it looks like the worst thing anyone could ever eat. And then you eat it and it tastes surprisingly worse than you imagined. Gotta go in back. I've got stuff to say. You're probably thinking, oh, do you have some UCHFRET me? And the answer is I don't. That's right, this isn't just some side project. I've got to make time to do this if I want to get the world record. For all I know, the flaming chicken opponent, who I will refer to from now on as Sam, I don't know why, is probably still adding to her posts. I think I pick Sam because it sounds like ham, which is like cooked meat, and so is flaming chicken, so you will remember that now. I'm officially going to make a quote from the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook of Knowledge and Prestige. Sounds catchy, huh? Section 777 of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook states that the king of oddly colored farm animals, that's me, is allowed to use whatever font he wants to. Now, I know what you're thinking, reader. That has nothing to do with anything, but it will come in handy someday maybe. Sam makes me feel sick. I'm offended. Probably because I'm jealous of how much is written on that website. I don't even know how to make a website. I've just been reading this, and I have discovered a conspiracy. That's right, I am working for Dr. Seuss. Yes, I will prove it to you. I mentioned ham and sickness, so green eggs and ham somehow. Why is he called Dr. Seuss anyway? He's not even a doctor. *CITATION needed, and his books are kinda dumb. Funny considering I'm the one making that statement. Talking about eggs, aren't eggs practically unborn chicken membrane? Wouldn't it be scary if you were casually eating your brembutter? Riotous robots reference. Wow, serious compilation of alliteration dedication, and drinking your tea with the governor. England doesn't even have a governor. *CITATION needed. I'm not even racist, I'm just quoting an accent of a race. And you go to crack an egg for your brekkie and boom, an unborn chicken embryo starts running towards you, picks up a knife and starts screaming, "Mama! Mama!" You are so scared that you grab the nearest weaponry, a spoon, and poke the hideous beast. It is unaffected. Luckily, the governor of Berwick-upon-Tweed throws a sugar cube directly into the chick's mouth. As you know, sugar is extremely poisonous to chicken embryos. *CITATION needed. No more citations, and you are saved. I'm sick and tired of citations. I will quote from the official Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook, Section 12,345,679, all the mathematicians are nodding their heads, while the OCD people are twitching nervously in the corner, says that the king of oddly colored farm animals does not have any obligation to write if a false piece of information needs a citation. Great, now I feel like a free person. Free, I tell you, free from the prison cell I call the boundaries of untrue info. I think since I'm going to be the president of somewhere someday, I should have great speech. Here it goes. Hello great people of, name a place. I'm here to tell you, I'm going to make, name a place, Great again. I'm going to lower taxes, but increase happiness. I'm going to buy dog sweaters and bowls for people with dogs, and do some renovations on people's tents. Yes, this truly is a new era, the era of epicness and coolness. And so, his tale lived on forever, being passed on generation to generation, living vividly in the hearts of the people. That last bit sounded like the ending of an Asterix comic. I will now prove that all these things can happen. The first thing I said, once that I will make America. I know, I gave it away, and told you the name, place grape again. Yes, that is what I said. Bear with me here. I hereby declare that every piece of American soil must be covered in vineyards. Someone told me I should do that. I think I heard it through the grapevine. Bad jocket that nobody understands. The next step is to lower taxes and raise happiness. To lower taxes I will get rid of all hospitals, and spend the taxes all on building fun playgrounds. This in turn raises happiness, for the kids, and for the non-injured, if you know what I mean. Finally, I will buy dog sweaters, on sale at your local liquidation world, and dog bowls, just use little human bowls maybe. And last but not least I will Doritos on people's tents, send Chip and Joanna from Fixer Upper to all the camping places, and since all I said was partial truth, it will be a great era anyway. I'm back. I just had Thanksgiving while listening to Christmas music, and it was fun. We had bacon, ham, and chicken, but no turkey. It's fall. But it's actually winter. Secretly I'm watching a funny show. I'm back, even though I never said I was gone. So you might be confused. Hello loyal reader, if you have gotten this far without scheming through, then you are probably either lying, extremely bored, but not after reading this whole thing, or very, and I mean very dedicated, or all three. You know those homeless people that sit on the ground and ask for money. I think it's all a conspiracy. After all, can they afford those dogs, Sharpies, cardboard, and enough English education to write need help? Back in the Roman times, only the richest, most important people could get things like that. You know, the new fad, black surfboards. Neither did I until 15 seconds ago. Someone related to me thinks they look really cool. I think they are neat, but someone also related to me thinks they're bad, because they would get orb somewhere over the rainbow. That reminds me, I was doing my normal thing, when boom, I started typing nonsense. So here it is, but be warned, it's scarily nonsensical. Here you go. The epicness. Hi, how are you? Smells good, yeah? Think about that, buddy. Shower time. Well, thanks a lot, so-called buddy. Random things. Joe be utterly hadden. Dat be the bomb. Think about tanking me. Interview. How does Joe like his pepperoni? I be liking how I always eat it. What first comes to Bobby's mind when I say flabbergast? I don't know. Flapper maybe that be it. 20 style. Hey there, my name's JFF. Hello, my name is Joey. Hey, an intruder. Did you never watch Picaples? I'm offended. Anywho, the cattle hopped above the Earth orbiting asteroid, a twist on an old tale. Are you OCD? Then don't treat anymore. Or 8. I know it's annoying. OCD and mail.com. I annoyed you again. A nice story. One day an old man said yonder, hey why did he wink at me? It's so creepy. The old man continued, hello there young laddie boy I need to get away from this man. I think I've seen ye around before, haven't I? Take me away from this hideous beast you call a man. I was once a happy boy, and then he started talking. This is unacceptable. Mwahaha. My attack plan is ready. This is what happened. Kills. The end. Today is the day of justice. Today the world will be destroyed. Mwahaha. Someday the whole peanut of existence will be chipped into the edge. But then again, maybe it will be forever remembered as the one who saved the Minstrels from the mighty Orc King, and the one who was forever changed, transformed into a giant floating peanut. Hello, it's me. I was wondering if after all these years you would like to meet. Hey chow gotta beat chow hey. Hey, www//_/ geometry dish. One day I want to fight a Demuroon. Hey ho, sometime the sky look blowy, but it actually yellow after Alcane Anderson descent and stand you amazing sometime over the rainbow, way up hi, over to ski at vertical bracket 3, left square bracket vertical bracket, pounds, vertical bracket equals, your, vertical bracket 7, vertical bracket underscore, slash backslash, vertical bracket asterisk, 0, vertical bracket, $, vertical bracket, backslash underscore slash, backslash, yen, %, vertical bracket pound vertical bracket slash backslash yen slash backslash slash it slash backslash pounds vertical bracket dollar sign vertical bracket 3 left square bracket right square bracket vertical bracket 3 vertical bracket 3 yen vertical bracket at slash backslash vertical bracket slash backslash euro vertical bracket slash at dollar sign pounds vertical bracket pound dash vertical bracket pounds slash vertical bracket yen at vertical bracket backslash underscore slash backslash it slash at slash backslash underscore slash vertical bracket pound vertical bracket dollar sign dash vertical bracket at slash backslash vertical bracket. That was it. I know what you're thinking. I think I do at least, but I'm not going to tell you. Burned. Feels the burn. Sorry, I had too much sugar, gotta go, you know, BRO'd you. I'm back, and I got a new conspiracy for you. You know how every child hates Brussels sprouts. This is why I think so. Brussels sprouts were happily growing in their Belgium home. Everyone loved them. They were the chicken nuggets of the vegetable world when suddenly, Hitler comes to Belgium. Don't read this. If you don't want to, Hitler was happily taking over Austria and Poland, when he then decided to take over France. But France built a big wall thing, to keep him out on the border between France and Germany, so all Hitler did was go through Belgium to get to France, and that is when our story is taking place, and he makes all the Brussels sprouts taste bad simply because he is near them. The Mulligan family is about to go to McDonald's and order 43 Brussels sprouts. You would have to have been paying very close attention, and know some math to understand that joke. And when they get them, after lots of quarrels with the manager, a bit of a Parker Square, if you ask me, you probably don't understand that either, if you want to feel like you know all these inside jokes, just look them up on the web. You're sure to find the videos made by Lumber Pile. Close enough. They taste so bad you throw up everywhere. Hitler may have caused WWII, but he also caused Brussels sprouts to taste bad, so there you go. Why do they always write WWII? If you can't tell, they always write WWII. Wouldn't it be more accurate to write WW11 or WW2? If I keep writing at this rate, I'll beat the world record in no time. I might even print it all off and write a novel. Too bad I probably don't have any readers. Hello there, non-existent reader. I hope you are having fun, and I hope you are not injured because of that whole no hospitals conundrum. What else should I talk about? How about Minecraft? Just in case you don't know, Minecraft is a fun game where you place blocks and stuff and you play with friends, and most people who play it are like 10 years old, but I not, and I still have fun, and you can't judge me, because I want to be an engineer, and if I want to be an engineer, then I should probably not waste my time playing games. Well, that went downhill from benefiting me really quickly. Anyway, I prefer the redstone side of things. Redstone means wiring and stuff. I've built stuff like 5-piston extenders and auto wall builders and calculators and computers. Not those stupid computers that use command blocks. Just in case you don't know, people, command blocks are like cheating things, and if I'm talking about them, I will probably not be happy and stuff cause I want to be an inventor. I also do C++ and make things like search engines, text adventures and cookie clickers. My current biggest project is 600 lines long, and I don't know if that's a lot, but it sure seems like it to me. When I was typing in the word lines, it auto-corrected it to lies. What's with the whole naming appliances fad going on? There isn't really one, like that vacuum named Henry that I have. I have the box here, and it says on it, it can twist the top part, which I never knew before. I just woke up, but the anticipation of whether this whole Henry twist bit this is true is killing me, and I think I might wake up, just to see if it's true. Nah, this text is getting so long it's getting loudy just typing on the same notes on my phone. I gotta start a new one. See you in another life, brother. Desmond in Lost Reference. It's Johnny. I'm someone Mickman, and today we are taking with BMC once. Asterisk CLAP 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 APPLA USE APPLA USE ONELONELYMANINTHE BACKS CREAMS BECA USEH EGOTLOS THEWASTRYING TOGEDTONEMOTHE CLOWNFISHMOVIEBUTNOWTH the REISAGIANTBESLASHWASPRIGHTTHEREANDHEISREALLYSCARED Thank you. Now, Mr. B, what you do all day long? Well, I've gotta say, Johnny, that all I do is spend 14 hours a day eating and then spitting what I just ate into a residential area. Wow, that sounds like my great aunt Large. I typed in Marge, but it autocorrected. Asterisk LAUGHTERLAUGHTERAPPLAUSE asterisk. Then what happens to that spicy milk, Jim Gaffigan? It's actually not milk. Johnny the regurgitated blob is then stolen from us and eaten by people. Well, that's amazing. Suddenly feels NAUSEOUS asterisk well asterisk BLECH asterisk. It's time for a little commercial break. Yes, real breaks. Every commercial is about breaks. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Fake Bronx accent. Do you like Twinkies? Yeah. Do you like roast turkey? Yeah. Then try the all-new exclusive limited time only in a store near you. Anticipation is building up more than the mold in my bathroom. The Kit Kat Turkey Twinkie. It is beautifully tasty asterisk CITATION needed. Have a break, have a Twinkie turkey. It's the other way around, I think. Next commercial. Enjoying Hawaiian music. Do you want to go on a holiday? More music? Then take a trip to calm music that goes like boa, sudden intense heavy rock, Hawaii. You can do great things like get eaten by sharks, fall in volcanoes, and get lost in sea. Buy tickets now for only E equals MC cap to easy payments of A equals to B plus dash, vertical bracket 2C minus 4 ob 3C. Man in background, Bob. Yeep. Japanese, dead-eyed naked X speech. Oh, we're at our airtime. Suodu, KSHSHSHSHSH. Next commercial. Has this ever happened to you? You are up to your normal everyday antics when, boom. You crash and break your brand new 2004 Ford Mustang bike. It's actually a 2004 Ford Mustang, a painful white mouth bone small ground up rock little hill building insect golfing safety Viking ravine big deer Sour Patch Kid bike, and didn't have insurance. Buy some right now for only €1 a month. Talks really fast. Warning, not actual backquote insurance, it's actually backquote insurance, which is a bag of inchworms and ants. This company is not responsible for deep regret after PURCHASES asterisk asterisk asterisk. Clap 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 applause plus. Welcome back to a hag. Sound over intercom. Emergency emergency. Everyone evacuate. Go go go. You ask someone while running away. What happened? Man is panting and very tired. Wait. He looks oddly familiar. The bee/wasp thing. It is stinging people. I knew it. It's my Friday and this whole thing is going down in an infinite spiral of nonsensical blubber. Poof wow. That was a fun dream. That was my stuff today. Gotta go. I'm back. Someone related to me is making a huge campfire in our mudroom using only a tea light and matches. It's sparking. And fizzing. And poof. The room is filled with smoke. And out of it walks a tall bearded man. Hello there. You must be Bilbo Baggins, reader. Have you come to kill Smog, the fire dragon? Or as Soren would put it. Yes, I speak Japanese, another random surprise destined for Greontnius, but Chababachito Oaks 2 Cti of St. RS. I know you're shinning for me city UVSHDARS. I know you're shinning just for me la 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 and won the Oscars/awards stuff, and then they didn't I think in 2017 asterisk 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 THAS is a public service announcement. I'm not in a very good mood in my writing, maybe affected asterisk 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 what's up with spray cheese? Like what the heck? It's like cheese, but like in like a can. What is wrong with people? What was that person inventor of cheese in a bottle person Min? Figure it out. He was like what the hey I want cheese, but I don't want cheese that comes in hard form cause then it is weird so, if it comes in liquidy form then it seems more like real milk so it's less fake. Wheeze cheese is a breeze asterisk KCHOO, asterisk. If you can't figure that one out then you need to get your flubber out of here. Flubber is that bouncy stuff in that movie, where there is bouncy stuff that attaches to Pope's shoes, while they play basketball, not Pope's, stupid autocorrect. Speaking of hard things, that reminds me of the Hardy Boys who were like magicians or something, which reminds me of sailing the dirty island Espanol. Every day I'm shuffling. Hey Gangnam Style like wop 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 Gangnam Style idiot like PI. Have you ever heard the song down DD down DD down DD down down down? Well, it is a cool song with fascinating lyrics. Here it is typed by your toothy. To be or not to be, that is the question. What is nobler in the mind through the toils of slings and arrows of great fortune? And when I slept I had a dream of great sorrow, and I will have that dream at least until tomorrow. Wrong one. Hehehe. Well, let's try again. Food and drink. Apple, crunchy, artichoke, chew before you swallow. Avocado replaces banana and cookies. Banana replaces avocado and guacamole. Beef, burger, beetroot, got a good beet, bun, for burgers, burger, for buns, cake, I'm gonna bake a cake, cantaloupe, an orange melon, carrot, an orange banana. Chicken, don't be scared. Dill pickle, not a gherkin, egg, from a chicken, eggplant, from a dead chicken turned into dirt by mushrooms, fig, Figrils, fish. I wished for a fish to decorate my dish. Grain, good rain. Hot sauce, Frank hot sauce. Ice cream, not even a real food. Jam, not from grapes. Kebab. Okay. Bob, lemon, sour or bitter, melon, a green cantaloupe, mince, beef/pie, nut, he's crazy. Armlet, let me take your ohms, which is a currency somewhere. Pasca, what the hooey is that? Pasta, makes more sense. Peanut pickle, that sounds disgusting. Were those separate? Pie, not from grapes. Pineapple, the apple from the pine tree. Pizza, P-I**C**C**K. Quiche, pronounced quiche. Radish, doesn't it look cool, dude? It looks radish. Steak, put a wooden steak in a cow to obtain. Tic-tac, the clock goes tic-tac tic-tac. Turkey, not for my Thanksgiving. Turnip, kindle a radish. Upside down cake, it's the same as normal cake but upside down. Vinegar, EWW, whiskey, wine, stop whining. Yam, Popeye says, I am who I am. Zucchini, for all the animals who live in the zucchini. Wow, that was fun. Gotta go bro, yo no. I'm back. If you have honestly made it this far, reader, then you have just been promoted from narrator to stable keeper of the rainbow fluffy sheep. Isn't that fantasmo? Some died for her 3 rainbow fluffy sheep. There is hope. There is life. There are unicorns in the darkness. No more trolls. No more orcs. We are free from everything that's bad. Great is the smorgasbord of a plethora of strawberries. Boots and cats and butts and cats and butts and rats and shouldas and rats and shouldas and rats and shouldas and ratsband. Yeah. Salad. Jamapel francaise. French is absurd. French is the word. I don't even remember typing that. It's so late at night my eyes are bulging out of my sockets, because of the brightness on my phone. Now, I know what you're thinking. Turn down the brightness, king of rainbow fluffy sheep. I will tell you why I shall not. Because on an iPhone 3 there is no easy access to get to your brightness. That's for the wimp. I'm hardcore. That's why I have typed a step-by-step tutorial on how to change the brightness on an iPhone 3 for you to read in the comfort of your own home, or wherever your exciting life takes you. 1. Click the button on the top right of the phone to turn it on. 2. Swipe from the left to the right on the bottom of the screen. 3. Type in your password and the phone will unlock to the home screen. 4. Click on the settings app. You're almost there. 5. Click on the brightness/wallpaper tab. 6. Good job. All you have to do is swipe the little bar thingy. That's why I don't do that. I don't have that much time, I think. Hello. I'm in London, and I'm hanging out. Now I'm back though. This is extremely frightening. Whenever I type words then my phone reads it out to me. Strange point, I just turned it off. Good thing too, since every time I heard it I turned around and punched the wall. Not out of fear for my life, because of the impending imminent doom, but out of a pure piqued curiosity. Once you obliterate the wall once, every latter time you lose that satisfying crunch. One thing I have aspired to accomplish for a long time now is to make my own pun-themed conspiracy theory. Here goes. In section number 115513221905650955979739715224. One of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook. I'm very proud of that number, by the way. Qolgeeks laughing hysterically states that the shearer of greatness, who's that again, has proof to the solvents of the Illuminati. If you solve something, would it be called an act of solvents? And for Herbisher proclaimants is alright to own half of all southern states who share barbecue preferences. None. Southern dialect. It do bring a tear to my eye now and that the founding fathers fought for freedom and for unity. Ye still the state's conner decide on a preferred barbecue sauce, even if he does not want them. And now gentlemen and ladies, I will prove once and for all that the Illuminati is real. Here goes. So, as everyone knows, the Illuminati is represented by the pyramid with an eye in the center. Do you think that it is merely a coincidence that the first letter in Illuminati is I, and I is pronounced I? I think not. Let's continue. What is the first thing you think of when you hear the word pyramid? Exactly. The first thing you think of is Egypt. No, it's that they are big. Duh. So what is the first thing that you would say when seeing a pyramid? Wow, that's big? No, of course not. Random audience members indicated by the two-line things. You would make the sounds of a mesmerized chimp, like wind. And I know how these two things are connected. What temperature would it be in Egypt? Hot, that's what. So hot that it feels like you are cooking a pan. A pan, to be precise. And what county sounds like Appin? Japan. Now is it just a coincidence that the Japanese word for big is NOO? These things are all connected. I just don't fully know how yet. So, we know that the answer has something to do with being big. But what, for these kind of questions, you have to work backwards. I call this method reverse solvency. Anyway, what did the rich, big, people do to the poor, not big, Egyptians around the time that the pyramids were built? Exactly. They sold them. That sounds like soldier. In French that's gendarme. Gender. That's what they are trying to tell us. It's so obvious, in front of our very eyes from the beginning. So, what gender is associated with being big? This is gonna be slightly offensive. Males, obviously. I'm sorry, audience member calls out**, don't be sexist. Sorry, but you have to admit, men are usually fatter than women. Hey, now you're being sexist to males. We have our rights, you know. Chauvinists, communists, we are great. Who insists? Communists. We will rule with hate. Actually I was saying that men are fatter, because back in the time of the pyramids, if you were fat you were considered wealthy. Now you're sexist to us again. Feminists rule. Feminists are great. We are going to rule with hate. If you both want to rule with hate, just hate each other equally so this can be over with. Thank you. Anyway, back to the conspiracy. Where were we? Oh yes. Men. What word is men in it? Fishermen, of course. Fishermen caught a lot of fish, and what did the Egyptians have a lot of? Gods. Fishermen used to go slow in boats, so we can remove the g-forces, and we are left with odd. And where are the fishermen? In the sea. The sea. And what kind of fish do they catch? That's right, the cod. Now, we use our backwards method to come up with doc. As in a doctor. What does a doctor do? Helps people who are sick. But do you know what the worst thing about doctors is? You still have to pay the doctor's fee, even if you are not sick. And mind you, the doctor's fee is quite a large bill, and I wouldn't want to go to the doctor not even for a bee sting. Alas, this is as far as I have gotten. Can anyone help me? Yes, you. Yes, I was just wondering what big, men, not bees, bills, and sickness have to sew with the Illuminati. Wait, anonymous audience member, say that again. But like, it was a lot of words. The writer remembers that he is not allowed to copy and paste, so he skips the dramatic scene, where one character says his sentence again, while the main character says aha. I think I got it. Got what? The flu. Who the heck are you? And how did you get backstage? Security. Security. Yes sir. What are you guys wearing? Obviously we are wearing tiger skins, for camouflage. Now I don't even have security, to take all the psychopathic people in here, because my security are psychopathic themselves. And I figured it out. Bill, no being sick. No B is actually no B, the letter. The only B we have is in Bill. And if you take it off, what do you get? Oh. And what is a synonym for ill? Sick. We have gotten pretty far on our journey of solving the question of the Illuminati, although we have not quite accomplished the full desired outcome yet. What did all the most important people in Egypt do when they were not prosecuting the poor? They were eating, of course. And what were the poor doing in their spare time? What any law-abiding, heartwarming, lovely citizens would be doing? Playing sports, of course. And where are the rich buried? In coffins like boxes. When someone dies, I's turn into 24 pints Roboto thin line X's in italics. Yeah, box, X. Ends box of course. And what company makes sports for Ends box? Electronic Arts. We've all heard of EA Sports. It's in the game. If the rich are EAT, and the poor are EA, the only letter not used in both is the letter T. As in T. A T is going to come in handy. Even the word eat is just an anagram for T. It's all starting to make sense to me now. It's all fitting together like the pieces of child's jigsaw. Remember the plagues on Egypt? One of those must be a clue, but which one? For this, we need to go back to original Illuminati ideas, the eye and the triangle. What number do they have in common? 3, of course. A triangle has 3 sides. If you ask someone to draw a shape and the only hint you have them as to which shape it is, wants to tell them 3, then chances are they would draw a triangle. It even has 3 in its name, triangle. And how many color codes does an eye have? You guessed it, 3. And the third plague is, let's see here, gnats. What has a gnat got to do with anything? That information is probably not even, right LOLZ. Anyway, let's keep going. There must be more to discover yet still. Who was the last pharaoh in Egypt? Cleopatra. She's so famous, that there have been books and movies made about her. The movies would have been very old, if they were made, when she was alive. So old in fact, that they probably used those old cameras with the crank thingy on the side and the reels. Remember the fishermen from before? They connect. The reels. I think we now have all the information we need to prove that the Illuminati is real. Let's see, what do we have? Man, a T, is not real. What happens if we squish them all together? Illuminati is not real. Illuminati is not real. Oh. Well, good thing we got that cleared up. Guess what, peeps? I have made it to 35,000 characters. Why is that so significant, you might ask? Because the world record is 35,000 words. That means that all I have to do is replace every letter with a word. Like this, instead of writing "I'm back." I could say "Internet Mascara Beagle Australia Catamaran Kipper," and all you do is read the first letter. This would probably make for some nonsensical blubber, as one might say, but at least I'll beat the record. Also, I have another up-to-standard word idea, to get more writing in. Instead of just writing a normal sentence, I replace all the words with their respective dictionary definition. Yes, writer, that is a good, awesome, cool, convenient, and simple idea. So here goes. Jumping cacti ate many jars containing marmalade. Any of numerous succulent plants of the family Cactaceae, of warm, arid regions of the New World, having fleshy, leafless, usually spiny stems, and typically having solitary, showy flowers that are leaping or springing over an object. The past tense of to take into the mouth and swallow for nourishment, constituting or formulating a large number of a broad-mouthed container, usually cylindrical and of glass or earthenware, currently holding or including within its volume or area jelly-like preserve in which small pieces of fruit and fruit tried, as of oranges or lemons, are suspended. Wow, that took longer than I expected. Just so I don't get sued, I'm now informing you that those pieces of information were sourced from a well-designed, helpful, and informative website currently named dictionary.com. And now, a word from our sponsor. *KSHHHHHHH*. Have you ever been sick before? Then this pill is for you. We have a 100% guarantee that you will never get sick again. Warning, the reason you will not get sick is because you will die. Buy Superpill in your local pharmacy for free. That's right, the low price of nothing. They are so cheap, we were practically giving them away. Also included is a satisfaction guarantee. If you are not satisfied with this product, then there is a full refund money-back guarantee. KSHHHHHH. Thank you for that lovely message from our sponsor, Hui Kabli. I need a topic. Not just any topic that you find on the floor, but a topic so magnifico, so delissimo, and so interestinio, that I fall on the ground in a seizure. I got one. This is a short skit entitled, Ninjas, Explorers of Time and Space. Intense music BUILDS*S sensei. I will punch that piece of wood so hard, that it creates a wormhole in the 6th dimension. My apprentice, you have trained hard. There is now a 1 in 1 times 10 to the million chance that using this wormhole will send us to an Earth-like planet that will be habitable for all ninjas in the clan of the Ninja Peeps. All hail the Ninja Peeps. You don't actually have to. Who said that? Who would have the audacity to threaten the Ninja Peeps? All hail the Ninja Peeps in such a way. I did. And you are the writer. Nice to meet you. My name is Sensei, but that's sensei to you. Howdy partner. No, we're actually Japanese, not Texan. Konnichiwa, partner. Sensei, don't respond. Don't you remember what this man did? No. He was the one who disarmed the hailing of the Ninja Peeps. All hail the Ninja Peeps. Oh yes, that's right. Sorry dude, but prepare to be thrown into the 6th dimension, you dirty rascal. The sensei grabbed his handheld torpedo launcher and shot it at the writer. It hit him and pushed him into the board. Do it. The apprentice hit the board with all his might, and it broke apart. Not how you would think though, it actually compressed into a wormhole, shifting the space-time fabric around it. Now I know what you were thinking, reader. Don't backquote. They always say to make a story believable. And to that I say, but it is. You see, if you are a small-minded gherkin, hey, you. No insults or we're going to have to stop this little backquote play of yours. Okay, whatever. You probably believe that when you push something, the far side of it moves instantly, right? Well, you'd be wrong. Actually, the opposite side of the object moves in the same time it would take for sound to travel from you to it. Here's as an example. There is a lightning bolt with a hand far away from you. When it strikes the ground, it pushes a mill bolt towards you, so one end is in its hand, while the other is in yours. You will get pushed back at the exact time you hear the thunder. Isn't that fabulous? That means that, if the ninja punches faster than the speed of sound, a lot faster though, then he will be able to compress the board into a space-time warping black hole. The writer is plunged into the endless oblivion of the cascading incomprehension, that is the 6th dimension. Little did the Ninja Peeps, all hail the Ninja Peeps, know, when you are in the 6th dimension, you can teleport right inside people and objects. It actually depends on what kind of 6th dimension you are in. If you are in a 4-axis 2-time dimension, as in this skit, you can move backwards and forwards in time, and change the outcome of time, yet not travel directly to any possible outcome, which you may have formed in the past. Also, with another axis under your belt, you can essentially disappear and reappear at will, yet with the time delay, which is null due to your cacophony of dimensions, specifically time. So what the writer did next was simple. He simply went back in time, and landed inside the sensei, causing him to not be thrown into the wormhole, causing him not to land in the sensei. This is making less sense as we go. In the end, the universe gets confused, and tells us a message. Universe Pointegs has stopped responding. No, yep. And that is what I do with my life essentially. Gotta go now, see ya. I'm back. With a conspiracy that will blow your mind/mind, if you are human. Zurika is the easiest game to play, if you have the slightest bit of mathematical knowledge. When choosing what to roll for, it is so obvious which on to choose using basic knowledge. I'm not going to tell you, because next time you play it, you will figure it out, if you even have Zurika. Now that I think about it, that wasn't really a conspiracy, was it? I have a reward for you, reader. If you have truly made it this far, then give me your email and I will send you the answer to the Zurika challenge, free of charge. Send an email to rainbowfluffysheep123@gmail.com, inquiring. Also, you can ask me any other important questions you might have. In section 18W08B of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook, it clearly states that the king of oddly colored farm animals, that's me, will reply to any email sent to the inbox of rainbowfluffysheep123@gmail.com to the best of his ability, not including spam though. Hey, I just realized that when I wrote the word color, it get a red squiggle underneath. What a sham. Sham, wow. In section 18025G02I22 it states that anyone, not only the king of the oddly colored farm animals, is allowed to spell color without a U. Hurrah! Hurrah! 3 cheers for the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook. But that was only 2, Harold. Whatever, and that, ladies and gentlemen, was the way color was born. The end. I'm back. And do I have an exciting subject for you? No, I don't. Ha, gotcha there, didn't I? Well, it just started raining. Oh wait, it's snow. Not just any snow, mind you, but it's depicts now. Yay. All these great topics falling softly from the sky. What could be better? I'm now walking down the street. Hey you. Yee. Is that a topic, man? Yes sir, 'tis. Well, ain't that great? If want to get the best topics, I must climb Mount Point Big. Hey look, there's some kids having a topic ball fight. How fun. No do. A derpicalanche. That doesn't even make sense. The word avalanche doesn't even have the word snow in it. Since I died, I didn't get any topics. Suele. Cue awkward elevator music ding doo ding dong ding doo ding dong. Asterisk TAPS his foot asterisk HUMS 90s pop SONG asterisk grabs chainsaw from behind his ear and cuts the elevator cord, plunging the box of awkwardness into the darkness of forgetfulness and less of meaning. Forget. You drift into a deep dreamless sleep, waking up to an elevator of twisted metal wreckage resembling a dead animal carcasses. Beside is the corpse of a Van onion. Wow, who knew onions could be so awkward? Oh, I just read what I wrote, and it makes less sense than I thought. Little did you guys know that today you would get a great piece of text to read. I didn't even know that. You know that guy from ShamWow? He always said all these great things about that weird sponge. Yay, that was a short topic. Him gone. Him back. Wait, how did I type, if I was gone? With my creep. Anyway, this is what I was thinking. I feel really sorry for water molecules. All they do all their lives is slowly get raised up slowly, until they land in a cloud with their friends. Wahoo. Or, so you think. In reality, at any moment they could fall to their impending doom. They drop thousands of meters to the ground, only now realizing that they are miles from home. They take the nearest river trying to get home, before repeating the cycle. They teach us this horror story in kindergarten, masking the brutal morbidity of it, by articulating the conundrum using macroscopic convoluted words. Like backquote evaporation, more like flying up to the sky knowing that it's your final moment. Ation. Condensation. More like Ned by your kindergarten teacher into thinking that this means water gently floating to the surface of the earth, when it really means death by lack of parachute. How could you be so? Ation. Public service announcement. This is an anonymous relatives pack-in. *WHERE is he? Dunno, this was test, and only a test. Had this been a real public service announcement, then I would have not been here. Har. Stop making fun of Harold. He was only late for that 1 o'clock commercial and now you guys just have to. It's okay, Bob. I don't care about the Larry squad. They don't bother me no longer. KK Harold, this was a tech. Wait, didn't we already do that part? Yeah, I think so. So this is awkward. Yeah, suoedu, asterisk I only a distance cut to the commercial break. What the heck do I pay you for? To get you coffee, sir. Oh, you the coffee boy. Why the heck did my coffee not have any cream in it yesterday? I almost burned my mouth into non-existence. I was told not to put it in, sir. By who? Let's just say I got a higher culling. Mean that the boss called. Yes, budget cuts, he said. No more cream, he said. No more name brand cereal. No, if my cereal is packed in a bag, I swear on my neighbor's cousin's dog's bone that I will take every cereal back, pour out all the cereal, and put them into the boxes that I saved from the name brand cereal. Is this you? You wouldn't. Oh, try me. Yay, now that I think about it, you probably would do that. Why was I here again? Oh yeah, cuts you a commercial already. We don't have any commercials, sir. We got voted unanimously by popular vote not to have any commercials. Well, obviously the public didn't want, didn't it? It all makes sense now. The budget cut is because of us not playing enough commercials. But sir, our quota ends tomorrow. We need to have played 50,837 commercials. There is only one way. Play all the commercials at 100x speed. Is that even legal? Of course it is. We might have to have an epilepsy warning at the start though. Don't people get epilepsy from watching fast images? This is a radio station, so people can just hear it. This is an epilepsy warning. That wasn't funny, Stephen. And back to our regular program. I just started a sentence with a preposition. Isn't that, like, 7 years bad luck or something? Well, I can solve that. Section 1 of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook says that the king of oddly colored, not colored like some losers would, write farm animals has full veto to start any sentence with a preponderance. What the hooey is a preponderance? It says here that it means to be greater than something. Well, the king of oddly colored is full of preponderance towards everyone else. Mwahahaha. Now I can start with a preposition too. Well, that worked. The reason that I used the number 1 is because it has become forgotten among numbers. You see, 1 isn't considered a prime number. Like what the hey? Its only factors are 1 and itself. Do you think that when a particle is beckoned into existence, it uses one of those slot machines with the big arm, and the 777 of the particle world is getting? I actually have no idea. Maybe just hydrogen. Hydrogen is pretty sweet for blowing people up. But then when you're becoming a particle, you have to use it, and see what you get. A typical particle would be at 1. Here is an example. Cue southern accent. Sweat was rolling down my face like the Rolling Stones. I can't believe it has come to this. I forced my hand over to the lever on the side of the machine, which appeared to be taunting me. It's lights in horror movie, a little kid singing or Jack in the Box. The reason I did that is because I was putting a space between every word, and Jack in the Box already has them too. Seem to violently clash against the darkness and dread of the outside world. I clenched the red metal ball with all my might. It was cold as Alaskan ice on early winter morning, and its color was the blood of the many particles who had to go through with this also. I jerked my limb backwards, causing the huge metal pole to turn on a skewed axis. It came to a stop, after turning a quarter of the way with a hard crack, like the crack of a whip. I refocused my attention to the screen. The cylinders were rolling faster than a Grand Prix racer's tire. Suddenly, the first one came to an abrupt halt. I stared at it, but struggled to read the letter, because of my complete shock. H. It said H. I should have been happy, I know, but I wasn't completely out of the woods yet. There was a tiny ×2 symbol beside it. I didn't care. I pulled the arm again, not knowing what life-changing, devastating thing was to come. Its painting thing, that doesn't have a name, stopped. Oh no. It was the letter O. Now I too will have to live this tortuous fate. Do you think that water parties breathe? Because then, when they did, they would just be hydrogen for a very short amount of time. Enough with the water particles. I have a conspiracy theory. You know those spinny poles that barbers have? Of course you do. They are probably used to hypnotize people into getting their hair cut there. Number SUBSPININALMESSAGESFROMCRUELBARBERS. There is a haircut called Meet Me at McDonald's that is banned where I live. Goodbye. And remember, barbers are the aisle. I'm back. Did you know that palm trees aren't actually trees? Yay, that's right, palm trees. I think that they were bushes or something. That makes me angry. In section 6.022141229x10 cap 23 of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook, it says that trees are trees, no matter how small. Horton, here's a who. On a completely unrelated note, there was this old man who painted a baseball like infinite times, so now it's like the size of a truck. I was listening to this amazing radio station and this is actually what it was about. I will try to reenact it as accurately as possible. Recently, a Russian double agent was poisoned in England. Also, there was a man who had 10 million euros, which he gambled, until he got 9 million of it back. He was so mad that he didn't get it all, that he robbed his employers to get the money back. Now he is a counselor for people struggling with a gambling addiction. He's a great lad, he's had a great life. By the way, it's my mother-in-law's 100th birthday today. Go over to her house and say hello. I have her postcode written on the back of my phone. Also, there was a man who invented the wind-up radio and the shoe phone charger who died this week. I know what you were thinking. There's no way this actually happened, right? Yes, this was real. And I thought it was pretty funny. I need to write all of the funny things that happened in my life in here. So today I was in the library, minding my own business, when I noticed someone was drawing cartoons and there were a whole bunch of little kids surrounding him. I'm guessing from ages 2 to 5. Classic movie plot device that never happens in real life, so I was already skeptical. He was drawing a zombie. And now you see, the zombie's chin is like a chimpanzee's bubblecopter asparagus. Wait, what? Let's try this again. And now you see, the zombie's chino's like a line. Why does the zombie look like it's from The Simpsons? Because real zombies are too scary for you kids. That's why I'm not drawing the ones from The Walking Dead, for example. I've seen that movie. Yeah, me too. Okay, how many of you guys have seen The Walking Dead? *EVERYO, and he puts their hand up asterisk. The only reason I thought that story was funny is because that kind of thing only happens in movies. What's up with the saying, "easy as pie"? Like what the hooey? Pie is really hard to make. The pie crust always ends up being soggy. "Piece of cake" is a saying too. What's with all these people that think baking is easy? Now that I think about it, this is a weird thing to be mad about. Maybe I just need to calm down. In section 888 of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook it says that the king of oddly colored farm animal, that's me, hereby declares that the sayings "easy as pie" and "piece of cake" are now changed to "easy as bread" and "piece of bread." I just realized that I was typing with my phone in portrait mode. Now I turned it into landscape and I feel so free. I need to come up with other things that I do randomly. Like the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook's challenge booklet subset. If I'm talking about some random subject, I will now randomly put a challenge for you, the reader, which probably doesn't exist, to do. Piece of bread. In section 7 of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook's challenge booklet subset it states that your challenge is, get anyone you know to say piece of bread instead of piece of cake. They probably won't do it, unless you tell them the reason, or you have really good friends. I have to shorten the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook's challenge booklet subset, so that I don't have to write the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook's challenge booklet subset all of the time. From now on, it is considered DRFSHCBS. I probably need to add vowels to pronounce it, and take out "the", Raflasha Hachaboos. Pronounce Traflashi Hachaboos. That'll work. I need to write more, to fill my writer quota. That just sounded cool to say. I probably write about 100 words a day. Well, I started today at the zombie thing, so yay. What's going to be the next big thing in the future? Technically, I'm writing this in the past, so you guys can email me at rainbowfluffysheep123@gmail.com and tell me what the future's like. The only problem is that I will only receive it in the future. Another one of my brilliant ideas gone down the tubes. Goodbye. The world is unjust. I worked for hours on end, making an app for a coding competition. And then they announced, we made it to the country finals. The country. By that time, my app had over 5,000 downloads. It was amazing. But we came in second. Guess what the prize was for second? Take a wild guess. Nothing. This wouldn't have been so bad, but at the competition they were giving away free stuff. And guess who got said free stuff? My brother, that's who. So in the end, after spending half the year doing a competition, my brother, who did absolutely nothing, got more out of it than me. The world is unjust, unfair, prejudiced, biased, fascist. Wait, that was autocorrected. I just needed to get my anger out. When I wrote autocorrected, it autocorrected it to autocorrectx. That's the last time I buy an Apple product. How many devices companies are fruit? There's Apple obviously, and BlackBerry, and Pear. I've seen pear shops in cities, and raspberries, as in the greatest computer of all time, Raspberry Pi. That can be the most expensive fruit salad ever. What would you like to order, moi sir? I'll have the fruit salad. We, Harold. That costs $5K. So, I bet it's good. KSHHH. And here's how the skit would have went, if I had autocorrect on. Why would you like to order, moisture? You guys have moisture in this restaurant. That's not up to the code for restaurants. I'll have to tell the building inspector. Oh yes, anyway, I'll have the fruit salad. Out. Run. I'm coming, Harold. That waiter must have something about fruit salad. Maybe he had a bad experience as a child. Wow, I sure went off on a tangent. Do you think that it would be cool if Apple made all their devices different fruit names? The iPad Pro could be the watermelon, cause it's so big, and the iPhone Nano could be the strawberry. Other berry names are trademarked. What else? A phone with a lot of space could be the peach, because the pit is like the hard drive. That was a bit far-fetched. And the MacBook could be an orange, because when you open it cut in the inside. Cause laptops are like two parts. You know. And if you cut a grape in half, and put it in the microwave, it will make plasma. Just thought you'd like to know that. Earbuds can be cherries, because they always have the two cherries which are like the ear things. And they call the charger back quote the root. Why a great idea. I will let Apple use these names and I only need a 0.000000000000001% share in the company. Even though I did work hard at this. I just thought of something amazing. If you are in a shop and you see a jar of nondescript sauces, guacamole, and it costs $2. $2. You know for a fact that the shop just across town sells them for $1.50. The shop is 5 minutes away. If you choose to go to the shop, then you, my friend, are working for minimum wage, except in the case that you have to walk back. If so, just buy the guacamole at the former option, or just get salsa. It's on sale, which probably means that it's old. Wasn't that interesting? Here's another situation. You are buying a $400,000 home, average price right now I'd say, and you think what a steal. And your neighbor thinks, where did I put that shotgun cartridge again? But as you think about it, you are working for 1,667 weeks to pay for that. Assuming 8 hours a day, 5 days a week at minimum wage, that's 32 years. Let's say you work for 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for $20 an hour, that's still 238 weeks. That's still 5 years. Just buy a camper van for goodness sake. I just got to thinking, how many tiny changes would a cereal company have to make to earn twice as much from a box of cereal? Assuming people still bought the same amount, I think I can trust the general population. It turns out that, if we want to double the profits, by decreasing things by 10%, we would have to do it 7 times. Which means instead of selling these cornflakes, box height. 1 meter, box length. 1 meter, box width. 1 meter, percent of cornflake that is cornflake, not air. 100% of box filled with bag. 100% of bag filled with cornflakes. 100% production cost. 10 cents, they could sell these, box height, width and length. 0.9 meters, percent of cornflake that is cornflake, not air. 90% of box filled with bag. 90% of bag filled with cornflakes. 90% production cost. 9 cents, they would make double the profits. Hooray. Well, that's that. You know how people always have weird names on the interweb. Well, I came up with Internet Name Generator. Random adjective, random noun. Use a deck of cards for this part. Take out the jokers and face cards, and tens are now zeros. Pick out numbers until you get a club. Additional things include, pick a card. If it is 3 or lower, put X at the start and end. Pick a card. If it is an ace, replace noun with random country. If it is a 2, replace noun with internet, related company plus van. Let me try this. Here is what I got. Fowl soup 31, XX internal L10XX, strength and fillet 49,458, mediocre electrode 20, and epic Reddit fan 7515. That was a lot more accurate than I thought it would be. Bye. Hello. I need to rant more. I'm going to start a sentence without knowing where it is leading. I wish I could buy a mocha for my clown pants, while aliens eat your toes which glisten in this liver of wind. That was fun. Why is orange so popular? There are so many words that don't rhyme with other words too, like engine, silver and angry. Hangry isn't a real word as far as I know. And people know that orange rhymes with door hinge. Some people say that doesn't count. But there is another. Sprangier. Well, it's pretty close. I think it's like fern spores. Well, remember, whenever you see the color orange, type number BOYCODTORANG, so people stop taking pictures of orange things. For Halloween, people will carve watermelons instead of pumpkins. Trump will no longer be president, because of his orange skin. Oranges, the fruit, will be replaced by reds. The soon-to-be fruit. The sun will disappear, or if we want to not go extinct, just change its color to blue. I have a map of Europe on my wall, which has the countries in different colors. Beware if you live in the UK, Spain, Hungary, Latvia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Greece, Denmark, and Armenia. You guys will soon disappear off the face of the earth. And my favorite pop is Club Orange. Nuedu. And Jupiter will disappear too. Now that I think about it, losing orange things wouldn't be that bad compared to other colors, like blue. We would lose water, blue paint, the second book in the Rust comic book series, the sky, Pluto and that one triple Angry Bird. That would be awful. In section 255 of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook it states that the king of oddly colors farm animals, me again, will never make all blue things disappear, but he may make all orange things disappear. Now you guys, don't have to worry. Right parenthesis exclamation point. Why are kings higher than queens in a deck of cards? That's really sexist. People think that king is worth 13 and queens are worth 12. If you can't tell, I'm mocking that people that get offended by everything. Why do vegetarians worry about hurting animals, but not plants? Plants have feelings too, I think. In fact, vegetarians kill more than carnivores. Instead of a whole family eating a chicken, if they are all vegetarians, then they will probably kill hundreds of plants. Think about that, people. In this whole OTF, I have probably offended a lot of you guys. Sorry about that. In section 1,029,384,756 of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook it says that, if the mug of oddly colored farm animals, me again, offends any reader, he is sincerely sorry *citation not needed, because of section 12,345,679 of the RFSH*. Why are the money symbols not consistent? Like there's Eurus, yen yen and pound OUNDS. But why $OLLARS? Maybe it's supposed to be $DOLLAR$. That makes more sense. Now I won't get that nervous eye twitch every time I see that symbol. Hey look, I just found this $10 bill on the ground. Hey, why the flop is he doing that? It's just a thing that he does. Oh. I have a great idea for this. Whenever he gets near money his eye twitches. That means we can find money on the ground just by watching him. And that's how I lost all my friends. It turns out that was the only reason they liked me. Wait, what is this? That is so weird. Goodbye. I'm back. Hahaha, gotcha. I was just kidding about that. But you would have never known that. I'm going to try to make words using only the top row of letters. Let's see. Tip, rip, port, type, writer, typewriter. Fascinating. I'm going to make a fake movie trailer. Using only words. Here we go. Have you ever seen of old woman churning milk? Wanted to. Seen of older woman churning what is now cream? The reason she is older is not because it is a different person, but because we filmed it after. Churn your own butter. Seen of even older woman churning what is now butter. The reason she is even older is because we got a new actor, because the other one retired. She used to put tires on her vehicle, and now she does it again. This is a great movie. If you are an idiot, this is a great movie. I had popcorn while I watched this movie, and I really enjoyed it. It soothed the pain of having to watch that movie. I really enjoyed it. It's really soothed. I actually really enjoy the movie. Wait. What? You know we're not paying you guys, right? Oh. Anyway, I actually really enjoy the movie while being on an oil rig. Well, no, but anyway, shows a picture of an old woman churning butter which is thick and black and worth a lot more than butter. Coming soon to you, this summer, and fall, and winter as well. Let's just add spring too. The Lord of the Rigs. That was actually fun. Warning, if you use this movie name you will be sued. Actually, now that I think about it, you probably won't. In fact, if you do actually make this into a movie, send it to me. Do you guys think I'm random enough? I really hope so. In section 5,647,382,910 of the Raflash, I can't remember that challengey thing's name. But anyway, make that movie. PLZ. I'm bored. And not just any old barnwood planks, mind you, but a board of fine stained oak as the flooring in the White House. Bye. I'm back. No, just kidding. I'm front. I have a topic that I'm actually very serious about. Puzzles. Am I the only one that thinks that puzzles are the most useless thing in the world? That's like the proof that the human race have made it too far. When we actually make challenges that we have to face ourselves, and we pay for them, we are literally paying to give ourselves problems. We have enough problems. Well, at least I do. Probably MMO. I'm going to type something about politics to sound super cool. As you know, recently President Obama, that was like years ago. Oh. Sauce. As you know, recently President Nixon, no, that's not exactly, right? Oh yeah, I forgot. As you know, recently President Lincoln, arg. We are not doing this anymore. Once a president before Donald, finally, duck. No, it's Trump. What? No. You think you're so smart person who talks in the brackets. Actually, Trump is a businessman in that show where he says you're fired. What? You probably also think that a bodybuilder actor that says Jeet Star with Ethiopia is a governor too. Hahaha. Donald Duck was a great president. His slogan was "I will fight for American Democrats," and he bathes in gold. What a great job. Money is so dirty though. Now that I think about it, he probably gets the money wholesale from the mint. Or else, how could he afford it? I have a new segment in my text now. It's called the Random Fun Fact segment. Now that I think about it, I never know when to use those. I think it's when someone is talking, and for saying something sarcastically, or shortening a word. For example, "Hello there Shucky. How are you doing?" Nice guy. Were you being sarcastic? Yes, but how could you see the little apostrophes when I'm talking to you? Science. And that's how they work. Where was I? Random facts. I will send all of my readers a fax with his facts on in. How brilliant. The facts of the paragraph are: ice cream was invented in China, something that is blue. Got it right there. Is actually every color but blue, and I like cheese. And the country of the paragraph is Mexico. Why not, right? Did you ever wonder how records work? Just in case you don't know, a record is a thingy where you put a round black thing on a magic, and it puts a sharp whatchamacallit on that, and funny rhythmic sound emerge and tickle your ear holes. I know how they work, with ridges and diaphragms and blah 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 blah. But how do they work? Like who was sitting there in the Relays boy having Diet Pepsi, or Popsy to avoid copyright infringement, and that's when I checked my for it, and sure enough, there was a mint there, and then they realize, hey, bumpy things can make sounds. I just can't get my head around it. Clockwise is my preference. Do you ever wonder what the worst collections are in the world? I currently collect words, pins and the To Kill a Mockingbird series. Not much work, besides the fact that I have to give them back to the library by tomorrow morning. The last time I will ever bring a library book late again is when I borrowed the book entitled How to Sharpen a Pencil for Dummies. Don't blame me. It was the extended and revised edition. They had all the technical lead versus graphite stuff added, and they called out my name over the loudspeaker telling me to return the book immediately, or I would be fired. Yes, I worked at the library. I never could figure out the Dewey Decimal System. Now that I think about it, they never said what book to bring, they just said my name. Oh no, I never handed in the How to Sharpen a Pen for Dummies book, which I rated 3/5, would not borrow again, because of its poor layout and overall structure, although the information was altogether helpful. What collections do you have, reader? Find out next time on Dear or No Dear. Remember for its sweets. Oh no. I wrote How to Kill a Mockingbird. I meant How to Kill Hammer, King Turd. Phew. Got out of that one. I have a new topic. A high quality, name brand, box not bag topic. I figured out a great business plan. Make onsies. Not just out of clothes, but out of everything. Like, did you eat 2 bowls of granola this morning? Well, onsie. Poured granola into 1 bowl, causing it to be crushed under its own weight. Do you have 2 hands? Well, onsie. Handshakes himself. Do you have twins? Well, onsie. Wait. How is this supposed to work? Get yours now at your local Amazon, which might not be very accessible if you don't live in South America, for a free trial. *HAPPY2 Nancy, Onishi. Life is better with Nancy. Spinaweb, less than 2. Onsie. I think that was to the tune of Spider-Man. I mean Spider-Can. Onsies only cost whatever you want them to cost. Yeah, I think I'm going to go now. Baby. Wait. What? When did I wrote that onsie thing? I just came back, and I do not remember doing that. What the hat does Spinaweb, less than 2 even mean? That is some weird stuff. So today I listened to that radio station again, and it was totally worth it. He was talking about these married people in Germany that are going to a Walking Dead convention for their 17th anniversary. Weird. 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 You know Guitar Tuna? Probably not. It is an app where you tune your guitar. Obviously. I thought of how they could make so much more money if they had bass tuna, electric guitar tuna, acoustic guitar tuna. But they would all be the same thing. They would make so much money. Wait. What about canned tuna? Also, if they thought in that way, then bass tuna would be extremely perplexing, because they are both fish. Well, that's my stuff for today. Hello. I'm back. And I don't get house decorations nowadays. People put old stuff in their house, and they think it makes it look amazing. People always talk about that vintage look, which is just putting old stuff that people 50 years ago would have said. Why do you have a fill in the blank with an old thing in your house? In their house. I should rant. Like what I'm doing now. I'm just talking about random things just like the flaming chicken person does, just to fill up space on the page. I should also write long words like Newman ultramicroskipixilicavolcaniconiosis and disestablishmentarianism. Actually, since it only matters for words count, I should just type really small words. Hi, my name is Joe. It's not actually, but I need to type small words. I need a lot of pie and I love it too. It is yum in my tum. Wow, that was probably really boring to read and write. Hello there, reader. I've just decided that I want to talk to you. I always seem to do all of the talking, but maybe I should give you a chance. Really long drawn out super weird and uneventful awkward silence**. Oh, I see what's happening. Either you can't talk to me, because you are in the future, and I'm in the past, causing us to not be able to communicate due to the sad reality, that is the third dimension, or, you're trying to talk to me on a walkie-talkie. I could never figure out those things either. They are so confusing. Let's see. Oh, there it is. The Walkie-Talkie Almanac, a complete collection of all the knowledge you will need to acquire. Did you know Acquire is also a board game? If you are ever playing, always buy America, and then buy quantum stocks. Well, it worked. That one time I played. Are you saying that games are different every time you play them? That's the last time I mesmerized 53 rounds of Go Fish, to use your very own walkie-talkie. Well, what else would the Walkie-Talkie Almanac be about? Let's see. Contents. It says the contents page is on page 1. Wait, what? The contents page has a line for the contents page. That's like a website having a link to itself. Which is not a bad idea for my own website, to get a lot of views. Like I could have a tab on my website, called the best sites on the web. And I would have links to places like YouTube and Twitter, or whatever you junkins go to these days. When I was a lad I used to play Pokemon Pearl and Facebook. Now you kids are all on her newfangled Pokemon Go, get out of here. And your snapper shatters. I bet if you are reading this in 10 years you won't know that I was talking about Pokemon Go and Snapchat, or how I got from talking to you to young ones. BDW, if you are reading this in 2028 or beyond. Welcome to the distant past. Now that I think about it, I started reading the longest text ever by Sam. Real readers will know who that is, when it was about 10 years too. And I don't get the references to stuff like Neopets and The Matrix. Okay, where is it? Oh, there. It says that the pretty much how to use it section is on page -3. Well, that's easy. How do I go to page -3? Let's see. Oh, look. They have a how to go to negative pages section too. It's on page -7. No. I guess I'll just look it up on the internet. Okay, first you have to turn the book into antimatter. Okay, got that done. Now just turn to the page without the negative. Well, that was easy. I'm on page 7 now. It says all you have to do is convert the book into an antimatter form, and hey, this sounds familiar. I'll go to page 3 now. It says here, and I quote, to use the walkie-talkie, hold in that little button on the side of the walkie-talkie. Did you that, reader? Can you try talking to me now? Oh yes. I can hear you. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong station. I'm on number 5, but you're on number 6. I have to click a button to change my station number. Too much work. Do you think I'm crazy because I talk to myself? I'm not. Yes, you are. I'm not. Isn't talking to yourself the definition of crazy? I'm not talking to myself. Then who do you think I am? Oh yeah. I'm your imaginary friend, Rat Guy. Don't you remember me? No. O *SNIFFLE *, breathing PADTERNS *, we dear emerging from EYEBALL * used *PUREWEPING *2. I can't talk to you when you're crying, because you keep interrupting yourself. Technically, since you're talking to yourself you're also interrupting yourself. I guess I am. Continue, Rat Guy. As I was saying, we used to skate around on a skateboard together. We would have so much fun doing tricks that other kids could have only dreamed of, like the ground ollie and the down the curb. We moved at speeds that the other kids couldn't even begin to imagine, 90% the speed of light. But Rat Guy, yes. If sewer's moving at 90% the speed of light, would the air compression deflecting us not cause us to develop into an expanding plasma fireball? This is a story, writer. Stories don't have to work. I need to stop. I keep writing all this nonsensical blubber, and I can't stop. Are you, the reader, not so confused and uncomprehensive of what I've just been typing to the last hour? Oh wait, you can't tell me if you were or not. Your walkie-talkie isn't on the same channel as mine. I just realized something. I work hard to you guys trying to give you quality topics and extra special rants. And how do people repay me? By writing more than me. I spend all day thinking about things that I want to put into this, and then I type it all up. And then I see that people want quantity, not quality. But no. You loyal readers will have to deal with me not writing 500 words a day, because I'm thinking of things and stuff. I was just thinking, I need to complain about my life more. That's what all the people are doing nowadays. Oh, my life is so hard, I just broke a fingernail. Big deal. Oh, my life is hard too, I just broke a finger bug reel. Oh, my life is mildly uncomfortable and difficult. I broke all of my fingers, toes, limbs, necks, mother's vases, favorite Guinness Book of World Records, my most used language rules, that kinda stuff. Just in case you didn't realize, I'm an introvert, so I have lots of problems with people. And my guess is that you do too. So here are some crucial situations for you to read and laugh at me, because you know I can't hear you. 1. You know when you're talking to someone, and you can't figure out what part of their face to look at. Is it their eyes, or their nose, or their mouth? So then you can unfocus your eyes and stare in the middle of their face, like you're looking right through them. And then they finish talking, and you have no idea what they just said. 'Cause that happens to me all the time. 2. When you're talking to someone, and they are saying important stuff, but instead of listening to what they are saying you're just saying yes, whenever they stop talking for a little bit. 3. When you are going into a building and there are people behind you, and you can't figure out if you should hold the door open for them or not. If you don't, and they are too close, it will probably hit him/her in the face, but if you do, and they're too far, it's really awkward, because you are just standing there for a really long time. Have any of these things happened to you? Leave your answer in the comment section below. There actually isn't one. I can't figure that much out. Hedgehogs must find it really hard to have birthdays. If they have lots of balloons everywhere, they probably pop them. The police come, because they think that it's gunshots, and there goes all the hedgehog's friends. I'm sure glad I'm now a hedgehog. In section 333 of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook it says that free pop-proof balloons will be sent to any hedgehogs in need. Well, goodbye, I'm off to slay a fantastic fedora fanatic. But before I go, I have to ask one thing. Did you really make it this far? Because if you have, then you have been promoted from herder of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep to shearer of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep. It's a title only few in the world have. Did you know I also make comics? Probably not, because I haven't posted any yet. Well, stay tuned for them someday. What's up with everyone wanting to deep fry things? Deep fried Mars bars, deep fry Kool-Aid. Well, I've come up with a new food type. Shallow fried, available at all good pharmacy checkout lines beside the guacamole and the taco sauce. That sounds really good. Just in case you didn't know, guacamole is mayo and guacamole combined. Doesn't that sound magically delicious? I think it does. Shallow fried stuff has half the fat, uses half the deep fry juice, whatever they put in there, and has half the flavor, for twice the price. Even though we never had an original price. Whatever. Do you know what's the worst? Trying to buy computer-related things in charity shops. I was at Value Village, and I saw a USB. It was 64 gigabytes. That's pretty good. I bet if you are reading this in the distant future then you think that a 64 gigabyte USB is awful. Well, it isn't in this day and age, I thought, so I went to buy it. It's only $2. Wow, what a steal. I looked closer at it and that's when I realized. It said 64 megabytes. Do you know how little that is? If you are from the distant future then you are probably think that's like nothing, and you'd be right. It can only store like 60 million letters. That's only 15 million words. That's only a million sentences. That's only 200,000 paragraphs. That's only 20,000 chapters. That's only 1,000 books. That's only 250 quadrilogies. Now that I think about it, 250 quadrilogies isn't that bad. If you couldn't tell, I used a method called Fermi estimation, though a little more precise. In Fermi estimation, you can be off by 100x in either direction, and it doesn't really matter. According to Fermi estimation, this is me. Age. 10 number of eyes. 1 social security number. 1 million PIN code. 1,000 number of limbs. 1 people in my family. 1 forever alone. That's why I like Fermi estimation. I actually didn't tell you why I like it. Oh well. Where I live, they use blackcurrant in everything. It's pretty much a replacement for grape. But am I the only one who thinks that grape-flavored things taste way better? Whenever I get something blackcurrant flavored I offer it someone, because they usually like it, and I hate it. Works well for me. I was just thinking about tides. Way back in the day, wouldn't tides make no sense? The sea would just get higher and lower and there was no reasoning behind it. Maybe that's why they thought sea monsters existed. Know what I think about it though? The moon pulling on the water is kinda even crazier than that. And now for a commercial break. Tacos. I love them. And you can't for only 10 easy payments of $10. That's dear, by the way. Tacos can make you feel fuzzy in the inside. That's because of the mold that comes free with every purchase. And there's no artificial additives either. We did that by adding so many additives that instead of adding it to the taco, we were technically adding the taco to the additives. What are you waiting for? I'm waiting for this commercial to end, so I can get paid. Call now at 1800 got punk to order a taco from Teddy's Tacos, or would it be Teddy's, and you will get a free rent-a-friend with your purchase. But there's more. Order now and get a free Ferrari too. Oh, it seems our lines are down, it's too late. They're back up again. But it's too late. I used too many exclamation marks. But there's more. Be the 7.8x10 Cap 9 customer to order to get a free home with your choice of a Happy Meal toy. KSHHHHHH. I think that people complain about preservatives way too much. They all say, oh, it's so unhealthy, but I think that month past their expiration date food is way more unhealthy. The end of that. Goodbye. Point do you do 2 extra languages in school? If so, you will know what I mean. Every time I have to study for one language, I always remember the word from the other language. Like when I'm learning Japanese, I'll think what was how are you again? Oh yeah, it's frickin' obvious. Sorry if I'm being too edgy. In section 250 Q4 of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook it states that English is the best language and no one should be forced to learn any other. If they are, they must fill up a bathtub with alphabets which spell out the word that they uttered, and eat all of it without any sugar sprinkled on top. No, that sounded a little bit cliche. Go to the tub, young men. Okay, well, that's all I got for today. See ya, I'm back here again. Another hour of my life will be wasted in the next few minutes. The autocorrect is so bad on this phone it corrected previous to Pilarus. Sentence made no sense whatsoever. I have a conspiracy for you guys today. Or for you guys today, if I want to sound hip. Don't worry, it's not as long as that Illuminati one, although I was thinking about doing another one of those soon. So stay tuned. I think school is a scam. Have you ever noticed that everyone says that the government is trying to brainwash people? Well, the last place you would think to look for that kind of activity is a government-funded learning program. The government is trying to teach people nonsense, to make the population stupid. Like, when will I ever need to know about the themes and plot devices in To Kill a Mockingbird? Or how to calculate the area under a curve? Or even that in 1812 a war happened that doesn't affect me today. They could be teaching us important things, like how to pay bills, how to get a job, how to overthrow the government and all political world leaders for entire globe domination, how to use bendy straws, you know, the important stuff. By the way, one of those things was not like the others. That was my conspiracy. I don't think that anyone has actually read to this far. I don't actually have any proof that anyone has. But if you have, here is proof. A tiny quiz to test how well you really know this LOTAV. Email all the answers to me at trainbowfluffysheep123@gmail.com for a chance to win a response from me, and a chance to tell me what you think of this site. Actually, no matter what I will respond though. Let's get started. Question 1. What emoji is creepy? Question 2. What type of plant will I make America covered in when I become president? Question 3. Fill in he blank. Jumping. 8 many jars containing marmalade. Question 4. What is the worst molecule to be? Question 5. How many tiny changes to a cereal box do you need to make it half the price? Question 6. What did I rate the book entitled How to Sharpen a Pen for Dummies? Question 7. What page is the How to Go to Negative Pages section on in the Walkie-Talkie Almanac? Question 8. What year was the brand new Ford Mustang bike? Question 9. What is a fun game on the PlayStation 2? Question 10. What food was described as okay, Bob? If you got all of those questions right, then you are a true reader of the LOTAV. And you get a prize. If you send me your answers at trainbowfluffysheep123@gmail.com, you will get your name mentioned in this LOTAV. I mean, if you want. If you're like me, and have a lonely YouTube channel with 5 views, because you watched it 5 times, his is the prize for you. Anyway, enough with that. And are the only person that thinks buying name brand stuff is dumb. People are pretty much paying to advertise a company. People want the logo for the company, because it looks cool. What if you bought a shirt from the dump? Would you want it to have a the dump logo on it? Actually, I have no idea what point I was trying to make. I once heard a saying, you aren't popular if you spend $1,000 on a jacket, but you at if the company that makes it spend $1,000 for you to wear it. Now that I think about it, I feel like I may have possibly made that up. You get what I'm saying though? I hope you do. Well, that's my stuff for today. See ya, I'm back. And do I got stuffs to say? Do you personally know anyone who uses exercise balls for their intended purpose? Either we play soccer with them, or we bowl with them, or we throw them really hard at people. Now that I think about it for a little bit, what is an exercise ball's intended purpose? I'll leave that question for you guys to figure out. Have you heard about that new law, that teachers are allowed to have guns in schools? I don't know what your opinion is on that subject, but I think it's an awful idea, at least in my school. For reference, here is a clip of a conversation between my construction and my English teacher. I will name the construction teacher Mr. Hardy and the English teacher milliseconds. Boma. Hey milliseconds. Boma, have you heard about that new teachers are allowed to have guns in school? In fact, I have, Mr. Hardy. I can't wait to have mine. I'm gonna get one of the big ones too, so I can take down the whole class in one go. I'm gonna get one of those little ones that you can hide in your sock, but then you'll have to take down the students one at a time. Now I'm no expert on education, but is it even legal for teachers to say stuff like that? I thought it was funny, but what if there was a new student at school that day, and they thought that the teachers were psychos? The students already there are used to their teachers being like that though. I have more evidence that the teachers here are crazy. One day my brother borrowed a camera from the school, and Mr. Hardy, what a coincidence, had to collect it from him when he was done. Mr. Hardy said that if he didn't bring back the camera by tomorrow, he would have to emigrate to a Muslim country, where he would be covered from head to toe, and Mr. Hardy would personally be sent from the school board to seek him out and assassinate him. It's just a camera. Calm down, Mr. Hardy. And the next day he went up to him and said he must have brought the camera back, or else he would be hiding in the trenches of Afghanistan. And that's why I didn't do construction in school, and because I wasn't good at it. That's enough about my Sierra's wildlife. Bye. It's been a really long time, like a week, and I just thought of something great. Isn't cereal actually a soup? Well, now you are going to be thinking about that for the rest of your life. I'm going to addition to the RFSRQP, the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Rhetorical Questions page. Also to be added, are there more hard things or soft things in the world? What is the average size of a rock? What is the meaning of life? Does 9 plus 10 truly equal 21? Why do whales have blowholes? What color is the dress? How long is a fortnight? How long is a PUBG? How is plastic made from oil? How is oil made from dead stuff? Why do people eat Cheetos if they get that orange dust everywhere? Why do people celebrate Pi Day, but not Tau Day? These are all important questions you need to ask yourself. I know the answer to one of them. It's because it sounds like pie. If half of pie was called cake, they would probably celebrate it too. I'm sorry to say, guys, but I have finally and truly decided to stop writing this LOTF. I have to pursue other things, like my life. Goodbye forever. April Fools. Ha ha ha. April Fool's Fool. Today is April Fool's Day and I have so many ideas. So far these are my dubious schemes. I have turned only one corner of my brother's Rubik's Cube to render it unsolvable. The only way is to take it apart, put the movie in the DVD player upside down, so it doesn't play. And I stole my brother's Easter egg. As I say it now, that last one doesn't really seem like a prank. But he got me back, because he put an avocado in the coffee maker, tied air freshener to the door so when you open it sprays everywhere, and threatened me with a knife that turned out to just be a comb. Isn't it great? I have a weird family. Hey, we were all lied in kindergarten. Remember, your teacher always used to say to you, remember children, I before E, except after C. Will you were scammed? Take the word back, weird as an example. See what's wrong here? It has the I after E, and not after C. Now if you don't trust the school system, then I don't know what you're doing with your brain. You should go on strike. I just fit in the second piece of the puzzle. When I was little, I used to always say, if it rhymes it's true. That was like my motto. And secretly, you could manipulate any sentence to succumb to the malevolent power of that prestigious rule. You could say broccoli is bad, so they say, and it rhymes, so it is true today. But then you could also say ice cream is good, so they say, and it rhymes, so it is true today. See what I did there? I thought that it was genius, until it got used against me. All I had to do was change the rule to it's true if it rhymes, but only sometimes. And that worked perfectly. Fun fact of the paragraph, Leicester is actually not pronounced Leicester. It's letter. That makes no sense whatsoever. I still thought you would like to know that. I have a great idea. I should talk about my middle school. Way back in the day that once, when I was a wee 13-year-old lad, there used to be this bench at the school, where people would go to make a friend. I think people were supposed to come and invite them to play a game. But what really happened, is that people would just walk past and shout loner whenever someone was sitting there. And they were henceforth called the loner benches. It's a cruel world we live in. Also, there were bushes with really long leaves, that we used to make bows there too. We would tie it to a stick, and then we sharpened another stick, to use as an arrow. We must have had 5 bows and 50 arrows at the time. We hid them all under a tree, so no one would steal them. Until one day, some random person ran, stole a bow and arrow, and shot at a teacher. And that's how that ended. Now that I think about this school, I don't think we ever really learned anything there. Also, herb is pronounced herb. Weird stuff, right? I have a very important, strange question for you. Why are there so many fast food restaurants that are exactly the same? What's the point? Ask yourself that question 5, 7 times a day, 3, 4 times a week, 2, 4 times a month, 12 times a year. You can take leap day off if you want, although if you do you might find yourself in a Burger King contemplating life, while also contemplating if $3.99 for 6 chicken wings is better than $6.99 for 10, and if the ketchup packets are free with the soft drink, and if you ask that, if the employee will look at you with utter bewilderment. Has this ever happened to you? You are squirting your ketchup into your Coke when you realize, how much do I put in? I read on Reddit to put 2.3 packets per 7.9 ounces of Coke, and a kilogram is 2 pounds and 20 pence, so that means 5.4 packets per kilometer per hour, ppkph, and there is 39 miles in a light nanosecond and, well, try the new pre-mixed ketchup. It has that perfect flavor, time after time. Ketchup, not copyrighted. Warning, you might choke. In Europe M&Ms are actually really healthy. Believe it or not, there are like 6 vegetables in one bag of M&Ms. Instead of using dyes like red 133 and blue 423, they use stuff like beetroots. Isn't that amazing/awful depending on what type of person you are? In Land of the Lost, one of the characters is eating a donut filled with M&Ms and another person asks what he's doing. He says, I'm eating a donut filled with M&Ms, so I don't have to eat M&Ms after I eat my donut. I thought you would like to know that fun fact. I have a conspiracy. Owls are trying to make us dumb. People always say owls are wise. But how wise can someone be who has 6 toes? 6 is equal to half a dozen. The reason I think owls are dumb is because I hate when people say half a dozen. What a big waste of time. I am so angry, and that is why I am using capital letters. Half a dozen is 4 syllables, and 6 is only 1. So when someone says half a dozen, I just think, oh wow, you're just trying to waste my time during that 0.5 of a second you spent saying that I could have twiddled my thumbs 3,4 times, or seen every main Naruto character in a 60 FPS environment, or listened to the first 2 notes of Crazy Frog. Now that I think about it, during the time I made that rant about half a dozen loathing, I could have listened to the first 3 notes of Crazy Frog. Skip ahead to the chorus of that song. Crazy Frog. Hello. I have a topic for you today. I was having a dream, and in it there was a pink sticky note already fascinating. But on it was handwriting that I couldn't read. How could my brain write words that I couldn't even read? Life makes no sense. Or Xanphanum would say, life makes no sense. Fun fact of the paragraph. 2 to 3 times a week is almost the same as every 2 or 3 days. Wahoo. Next time you buy a Freddo or banana flavored Freddo Choco Bar, then remember, eat it every 2 or 3 weeks or 2 or 3 times a day. Wait, that's not right actually, just eat your Freddo. And now a special announcement. This is a shout out to the Not Very Helpful Secrets of Things Corporation, or the NPSUTC, which means nothing. It is a company which makes things like the little tabs at the sides of cling film boxes. No one knows about these things, but they "help people." Also, they make things like candles on flashlights that double as a stand so the poor little electrons burst into the sky helplessly, uselessly. Without this company, the world would simply not be the same. If donate $5 to this company, or $4,815,162,342, I hope those dollars don't get lost in the mail, Hetty. Then you can save a turkey from strep throat. The end. Goodbye. If you have made it this far into the official LOTAV, then you get the official Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Badge of Honor. This isn't a badge. It's just a piece of plastic with your face on it. Go ahead, put it on your lapel next to your badge of Boy Scouts for not being sexist and letting girls into Boy Scout. Speaking of this, they changed Canada's national anthem from All Guy Sons Command to All Guy People's Command. Why would they do that? Did the back quote really need to be capitalist? But how can I, if there is nothing to stick it with? Would you like a knife perhaps? No. Anything else? I haven't trusted you with knives ever, since you tried to butter your toast, and ended up slicing Millie the cat's third whisker to the left. Actually, I don't need this badge. Don't worry. Take this. Squish. Takes gum from mouth. Tutti Frutti flavor coincidentally. Actually not coincidentally, because this is fictional, and I made it up to emulate the story, and it is altogether irrelevant anyway. Some gum says it's good for your teeth, so I guess it is coincidental. Hahaha. The reason I picked Tutti Frutti is because this is multicolored like rainbows, as in Rainbow Fluffy Sheep. Pretty smart if you asked me. Now I'm just adding brackets for no reason. I don't need the badge. Besides, I don't even have a lapel. Goodbye. Hello. Do you think that you are a professional guitar player? Well, if yes, let me prove you're wrong. A professional guitar player can't play any children's song, right? Well, try playing Teddy Bear Picnic. Its total chord count consists of, brace yourself, 16. Bye. Welcome back, loyal fan of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Club. You have been here through my hardest struggles, and my most euphoric discoveries. Mercy. Now, onto the real problem at hand. Pedals. I guess that would be a problem at foot actually. Car pedals are so weird because there is a brake, clutch, and gas. I always thought that there was a forwards and a backwards. Well, until like 5 years ago. Sad how this world has to make simple things so complicated. There must be thousands of buttons on a plane, when all it needs is up, down, right, left, forwards, backwards, cuff holder eject, radio station changer, barrel roll, mincemeat dispenser and 2 parachutes just for the captain, because they don't care about the passengers. Don't you hate it when you are typing a list with commas and you get to the last word of the list and you realize you forgot to put in and before it? For example, the colors of a rainbow are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Oh no, I was supposed to put in and there, indigo and violet. There you go, a left WP. First world problem. There's so many abbreviations nowadays that eventually there's going to be no words, just abbreviations. Isn't it weird that the ukulele strings aren't in order? It goes ding dong dong ding. I wonder how that got invented. It was probably some smart guy inventing an ultra-efficient stringed instrument playing device, when his dumb friend walks up and says, "What does this knob do?" And he goes, "Wow wow wow wow." Yep, I guarantee you that's how it happened. Are you in a car right now and you are bored and it's raining? Pick a raindrop on the window and race it against another one. It's great. Or you could just keep reading this, which is probably even more great. You could just read this forever. If you ever get to the end, then that means you are reading faster than I'm typing, which is actually really easy. Right now I'm at the end of this low tab. There is nothing but an endless abyss of void past these very words, until I write more. That is, do you know what is a great topic to ruin your fail routine? What makes me not sleep at night? And the answer may surprise you. Blankets. Think about it. The fully stuff in the inside is feathers. Duck feathers. They kill the duck, or they just skin him. But have you ever seen a featherless duck? Exactly. Skinning them would probably be worse than killing them. Guy would be so ashamed to walk in public featherless. Unless they live in a hot country like Spain, in which case the featherless ducks are the cool ones. No. I just realized that blankets actually are made of weird fluffy stuff, while pillows are made of feathers. So actually pillows are what keep me awake at night. But they also keep me asleep, because that's their job. It's a paradox. Like Schrodinger's cat. I'm always half awake and half asleep at the same time. Although I'm closer to asleep at school. Because they don't have pillows. If you can't sleep, I have a game for you. Yes, you. Scribble on a page, then color in the spaces with 2 alternating colors, so the colors aren't touching. It looks so cool too. I have a conspiracy. Ice cream. It hurts so much. The government has hidden tiny knives inside of ice cream to stab your teeth. It's evil. They do this, because then dentists get more money, which in turn causes the government to lose money. Never mind, this conspiracy has been proven false by the Conspiracies, our really stupid commission, or a cows. I guess that would be really stupid. Right now it is out the back in the year 2018. Hello from the distant past. I think I've typed enough for now. Bye. I'm back. With some more weird things for you. I was casually walking around, doing my own thing, eating a burrito. I actually wasn't, but it adds mystery to this tale. When 2 people walked past me. What you have to is multiply the elephants by 5, and divide by 3. Oh, I was so close. Now you reader try to figure out what they were talking about. Peace, you can't. Ha ha ha. And that's what happened today. Woohoo. I'm so happy. I have overcome my boundaries in C++ 3 times today. First, I put a function into a header file. Next, I saved multiple pieces of data into one text file. Then, I saved an array to a text file. Hooray. If you know about C++, then you will be excited for me. I know what you are thinking. How did you get that much done? On a school day. And this is what happened. I was getting up to go to school, like normal, when suddenly, dramatic music. I turned, dramatic music builds, and saw, dramatic music at the climax, that I had to leave in 10 minutes. Don't worry, this doesn't end up being my fault, or else I won't tell this story. I was ready in 10 minutes. Like, hey boss. And then I realized, no one was driving us to school. Yeah. And that's what happened. My parents woke up at 2:00 p.m. Like they don't care about our education. It was the best day ever. I coded for 5 hours. The end of that story, and a word from our sponsor. include life simulator point h void life, social securitinum, if your emotion equals bored, and in pool have a job equals false count. The only problem is that the best employees get fired the fastest. See ya? Guess what, my loyal fans? I'm halfway through the world record. Now, if I really want to win, all I have to do is double the amount of words. I'm halfway through the world record record. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. That would make for a really stupid thing to read though. Has anyone printed this Lotayev off? Seeing as most novels are 70,000 words or something like that, you, my loyal reader, could easily print off 18,500 words. Maybe you could make a coffee table book. Don't steal my works and post it on another website. Actually, your website is probably too high standard for this nonsense. Every reproduction of this text must have a copyright notice as following: copyrighted and trademarked and patented and registered in stuff to Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Limited. It hereby states in the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook section 123A, B, and C that, this is the coolest Lotayev ever, B, cheese is a vegetable, and, C, that you may tell your friends about the Lotayev, so long as the words emitted from your mouth do not consist of up to, and include 50% of the total text from which it is derived. I'd like to see you try though, and I'd like to see if you have a friend, because I need them. That would have been really creepy if I wrote back quote I need them. Anyway, gotta go, cause it's May the 2nd, and you know what that means. May the 2nd be with you. Chairs. They're great for sitting in, aren't they? Do you remember when fidget spinners were all the rage? Kids all around the globe were spinning plastic toys, and all the adults were like, wow, those are the most useless toys ever. But what I think is that their toys were just as bad. Think about jacks, those little spiky things with the other round things that you throw and bounce them. How is that any better? Anyway, I'm just saying, don't be so Judge Judy, which is a great show, because you get to watch that big person swing a meat hammer at a table. I've always wanted to do that, all the time. Is time really a dimension? Because you can only move forwards in it. Imagine if you could only move forwards in the third dimension at the same rate. You would get squished with a lot of walls. But, you could go back in time, to make up for the lot dimension. Perfect. I have a new conspiracy. You know those pillowware, if you put them on one end they are dark, and on the other end they are shiny. I think that the government has hidden thousands of tiny cameras facing upwards into the pillows, and the shiny parts are just the lenses for them reflecting light. So if you happen to own any of these said pillows, throw them away. Or else, you will be watched. In section 747 of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook it states that you should cut all the wires coming out of your pillows, because they are probably connected to a van outside your house. If there are no wires, then they are probably using radio waves, in which case you should insert your pillow into an untainted lead box. Hopefully you don't care that your pillow is now heavy, hard, cold and poisonous. You know how adults also say shooting games are dangerously mind-altering. Well, I bet in World War II the parents didn't say to their kids, "Hey Jimmy. Yay, mama. What you doing my lad? I'm peeling me potatoes and them. I'm going to feed the cattle Joe. I mean with your life alright ma'am. I'm gonna AWF to war with my buds. But war is dangerously mind-altering my sonny boy. Yeah. I'm very disappointed in you. Soon you're going to be living in my basement eating fat cakes. But ma, I'm fighting for AWR country. War is so violent though. Yeah. You get the picture. Teenagers need violence in their lives. If we can't get it by going to war, then either we play violent video games or we beat strangers. Which one would you choose now? Stereotypical adults. See how I slowly increase the exclamation marks to increase the intensity. Also, adults always say stuff like looky here, cabbage is a new superfood. How do I know ma? It what they say nowadays. What time is nowadays ma? 1945. Coincidentally the same family apparently, but whose back quote they think about that, and listen to how often people say that. I have asked close personal relations and she stated that it's probably some group of scientists or something in Wisconsin. Really? Wisconsin? That's probably why back quote they say that cheese is unhealthy and I'm only allowed one laughing cow a day. You would eat it too if you got PTSD from a laughing cow. Imagine you are just loitering around a fast food shop, eating fillet pig joint. Don't ask, it was on sale for half price okay, when suddenly a cow sneaks up behind you, and makes a 200 decibel half moo half evil laugh, like this, moa hoa hoa. That's what back quote they sound like. See ya? I'm back, with a thimble load of structural wisdom. And my question to you readers is this, is garlic a fruit? Just wondering. I don't know what to type. I have typed my mental breakdowns to soothe them. Ba. Never mind. You know those shopping carts at stores that cost a quarter? I always went to those to see if anyone left their money in. And I got one once. You should try it. It's so satisfying when you find one. One. Only one. Buy a pencil or something to reward yourself. Make sure it's a 6B pencil, so you don't put any strain on your eyes or your wrist muscles. I just found the degree button. There is a door open at a 45-degree angle that is 45 degrees Celsius. It's probably in Arizona or something. Do coats keep you warm, or do they preserve heat? I think it's the latter. It is. The latter I mean. The latter I mean. Wait, is it the latter or the latter? The former. So that means, if you put a coat on a snowman it would keep him alive longer. You'll start a new charity. Coats for melting snowmen. Saving snowmen lives one water droplet at a time. See ya. This is a new beginning to the Lotaev on a new phone. Although it will be added to the original Lotaev, this part will be a new beginning, a fresh chronicle. But don't worry. Nonsense is 100% guaranteed. More like 1% guaranteed. I just had a scary thought. They say can buy everything, but I know one thing it can't buy, a trip to the summit of Mount Everest. No matter what you can't get to the summit, unless you climb yourself. Even a helicopter can barely make it to the base camp. I can't believe humans haven't made something to do that yet. Unless you could land the ice on it. Perfect. That would definitely work. I should make my own subreddit. Before I begin on this wonderful journey, I must inform you, the reader, what a subreddit is. As far as you know, a subreddit is just a burger at Burger Galaxy. This is the cringiest sci-fi failure you'll ever eat. Here are some examples of subreddits. r//. I can't remember how many O's there are. Egg. Joe, this is the best joke ever. Cashier, are you going to pay for that chocolate bar? Customer, I don't have any money. Cashier, then put it back. Customer, slides cashier at 20 *. Let's keep this between us. Bob, why didn't he just pay for the chocolate bar? Jim, r//. Next subreddit is r/@theonion. Here's the backstory. The Onion is a fake news site, which posts funny news. If you fall for that news, you are said to have ate the onion. Egg. The Onion. New studies show that drinking can lower thirst by up to 96%. Bob, everyone knows this. This is so stupid. Jim, r/@theonion. What am I doing? Why don't you just look it up on the internet? r/Fascipum. I have to stop. So my subreddit will be r/Rainbow Fluffy Sheep. Who would have thought? In it there will be we interrupt your normal daily fluffy sheep to bring you urgent news report. Farm animals have all kinds are raging across the streets. We can't figure out why. One cameraman suggested they were on strike against meat production practices. I just got word that we will be speaking to a member of this protest shortly. Stand by. Okay, so why are you commencing with this protest, sir? Baa babaya. Babaa baya. Baa baa. Baa. We interrupt this interruption to bring you back your regularly scheduled program. We at Fluffy Sheep Studios don't care about animal protests. We will eat all the beef jerky we want. Right, guys? Guys. *SNIFFLING in the background. A slight whimper. A deep voice. A thickened plot actually, and known. We have all been deeply moved by the actions these animals are taking. Thus, we have all become vegans. And known. Mind is blown. That's me by the way. Well. I goozle eat this beef jerky by myself then. CRINKLES the PACKET*. Many evil stares. PULLS@OPEN*. Someone starts pounding his fists. TAKES@JERKY*. Someone comes over very close, so close you could smell the vegan on him. My heart is beating. What will happen to me if I eat this beef jerky? Or worse, if I don't, will I become one of them? That's a risk I'm just not willing to take. Babum. 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 *BRINGS the jerky towards his MOUTH*. Babum. Babum. *OPENS his MOUTH*. Everyone from around the building is now watching him. Babum. Babum. You find out what happens next time on the Lotaev Animal Strike in more ways than one. I'm back, and today I'm going to be talking about a very different scenario. I need to talk more about real-life conspiracies if I need to keep my readers interested. And these may not just be conspiracies, mind you, but a new kind of segment for my beloved reader or readers. I read this called Learning About Scams, and trying to use them to trick my readers into reading more. So I heard about this new scam. Never mind, it's actually old, like your mother. I'm hilarious, I know, and possibly quite offensive, where you get say 10 people to each give you €10, and you give them £15 back. I'm just going to explain this now, but throughout this demonstration I'm going to be changing the currency symbol for comedic effect, but now that I think about it, explaining it ruins what little comedic effect what there at all, but I'm going to keep all of this anyways, and then you get 20 people, to give you $20 each, and you give them 30 yen back, and then you get 100 people, to give you at 100 each, and you don't pay them back. What a plan. You get to keep, and 10,000 in the end, which I think, is a great idea. Boo, how could I do that with words, you may ask? Leave your question in the comments down below, and also your answer to your comments, because a busy writer like me doesn't heed to your delusion of getting a response from an esteemed author and self-published poet of sorts, and keep reading, because I have a possible solution. Just replace the money with characters randomly typed by an assistant writer named Bilbo. Yes, he is a money of course, we need these characters to be truly random. I can't count on technology's backquote this is random, because we get extremely precise measurements of radiation shtick anymore. While you try to figure out how that would ever work, you'll be swiftly moving on to a new, more exciting and reasonable topic, such as figure out the movie. There once was a cat. He sat on a mat. The cat's face has a striking similarity to that of Leonardo DiCaprio. The mat is a dream. The mat is another cat's mat. The mat, when opened, contains another mat inside. Both mats are very real depictions of a real mat, but are both not real. Somehow, another mat is inside the second mat. Most cats thought that this was impossible. There is a cat named Joe who owns a bowl filled with a dry collection of the most cat food in the house, which goes by the name of Kitty Nibbles. When Joe dies, he leaves his son, who is still just a kitten named Bob, the entire bowl of Kitty Nibbles. Joe must decide whether to eat the bowl of Kitty Nibbles, by pouring milk on the food, liquidating it into a scrumptious snack, or keeping to dry Kitty Nibbles for others and future kitten alike. Another kitten, a fairly shrewd Manx cat called backquote the Black Paws was hired by another cat, who has a large portion of Kitty Nibbles himself. The problem for the hiring cat, a tabby named backquote Fluffball, is that his large supply isn't fast enough to outweigh Bob's, making it the second largest collection of Kitty Nibbles in the whole house. The reason Fluffball needs to hire BP is to convince Bob that Joe would have wanted him to eat his nibbles, because of its great nutritional value. If he does eat it, the Fluff would have a monopoly of sorts on his selling of nibbles for toys such as tons of rubber mice. To convince Bob that that's what Joe Wolf wanted, they set up a trick, where they make a puppet of Joe talking to Bob, and he assumes he must be alive and these are his final words, to liquidate the kitty ends. The thing is, the puppet of Joe is made of two mats stuck together, but there is a problem. Bob might not believe that the two stuck together mats are really Joe, because he isn't sitting on his favorite mat. Team BP knows that this has to work first time, so they found the technology they needed, a third mat. But when stitching the mats together, BP realized that he has lice and termites in his fur, which are eating away at the mats. He need to find another cat who doesn't have termites who can sew as good as he can. The plot thickens. While you figure that out, I'll be sleeping. See ya, / I will not explain. There once was a cat. He sat on a mat. The cat's name, Leonardo DiCaprio. The mat is a dream. The mat is another cat's mat. The mat, when opened, contains another mat inside. Both mats are very real depictions of a real mat, but are both not real. Somehow, another mat is inside the second mat. Most cats thought that this was impossible. There is a cat named Joe who owns a bowl filled with a dry collection of the most cat food in the world, which goes by the name of Kitty Nibbles. When Joe dies, he leaves his son, who is still just a kitten named Bob, the entire bowl of Kitty Nibbles. Joe must decide whether to eat the bowl of Kitty Nibbles, by pouring milk on the food, liquidating it into a scrumptious snack, or keeping to dry Kitty Nibbles for others and future kitten alike. Another kitten, a fairly shrewd Manx cat called backquote the Black Paws was hired by another cat, who has a large portion of Kitty Nibbles himself. The problem for the hiring cat, a tabby named backquote Fluffball, is that his large supply isn't fast enough to outweigh Bob's, making it the second largest collection of Kitty Nibbles in the whole house. The reason Fluffball needs to hire BP is to convince Bob that Joe would have wanted him to eat his nibbles, because of its great nutritional value. If he does eat it, the Fluff would have a monopoly of sorts on his selling of nibbles for toys such as tons of rubber mice. To convince Bob that that's what Joe Wolf wanted, they set up a trick, where they make a puppet of Joe talking to Bob, and he assumes he must be alive and these are his final words, to liquidate the kitty ends. The thing is, the puppet of Joe is made of two mats stuck together, but there is a problem. Bob might not believe that the two stuck together mats are really Joe, because he isn't sitting on his favorite mat. Team BP knows that this has to work first time, so they found the technology they needed, a third mat. But when stitching the mats together, BP realized that he has lice and termites in his fur, which are eating away at the mats. He need to find another cat who doesn't have termites who can sew as good as he can. The plot thickens. But I'll finish it later. Right now there's something even more important. Ink cartridges are such a scam. Such a scam. A scam. For multiple genius reasons. First of all, as you know, it costs around $60 to buy a single ink cartridge. Guys, I've changed out. Okay, there's new thing I gotta say. This is like a new year for me. Not even a new era. A 2.0 on existence. So get ready for a new and improved Lodiv. First let's start off with this. For you this isn't a new and improved Lodiv. I caught you. You just skipped ahead to this part cause you couldn't be bothered to read all the way here. But believe me, I sure don't blame you. It was kinda lame. Now, as a moderner child with new skills and awesomeness, I'm way smarter thus making this better for reading. But also sadly more boring as well. Let's start then. What is there to talk about? Muches. First of all let's just say that this Lodiv is getting really long. And I know I've been saying that the whole time, but now it's serious. I think I have a problem. What am I actually doing? I'm not going to be posting this anywhere, cause I don't want to pay for a domain name, and my Wix site isn't exactly going back quote viral and the kids say these days. One day it will know hopefully. Once I beat the world record I'll be world renowned for being one of the greatest writers alive. Everyone will know my name, from Abe Blink to Tommy Edition. Even though they are both in the past, my name will be remembered for thousands of years, and time travelers will go back to their time, just to tell them about me. Won't that be great? And also by the way, if you didn't already realize, Tommy might be the biggest sham in all of existence. He stole his idea from other peeps and just patented them as his own. What a loser, am I right? Okay, also I have this new thing, to show you guys, that are going to love. It's a poem written by yours truly, the something of sheep. Oh gosh no I can't remember cause I haven't done this in so long. I guess I'll have to go back and check my old ones. I'm gonna be honest guys, I'm neglecting you. You're being left in the rain and cold, with your only joys the sliver of sunshine piercing through the clouds to dry your soul, drowned in the sorrowful realization that the Lodiv will never come close to its original glory. Like Rome, the empire of the fluffy sheep has fallen to a disgrace. I only come outside to feed you guys with my knowledge every couple of months and it's sickening. I'm ashamed. But I have an umbrella for you of new content, so here we go. First of all, the whole kittens are inceptional thing was a sham. I didn't finish and I'm ashamed. The whole ink cartridge rant. It was like 4 sentences. My need for the sharing of anger has diminished, and I'm disgusted at what I've become. So here I go again. My 2.1 era has been born. It will be remembered for its greatness, just as Rome 2.1 was. Italy. Here's the first order of business. I'll admit I haven't read anything about my rainbow fluffy sheepness in forever, and thus I'm unable to remember literally anything about it. Therefore, I'm surprised a new citizen hasn't taken my place. No one has yet challenged my Lodiv for being the longest one, yet and I'm disappointed in your lack of vigor. If one of you were to challenge me, I will mount my mighty steed and charge my lance into your face. This may seem a little harsh and slightly morbid, so I'll tone it down. We will each send a ghost copy of ourselves instead of us. You know in racing games, when there's another vroom vroom machine and he's blue, opaque and always does better. Like they but with people. So here's what I propose. I will take my ghost sword from my ghost sheath and ghost chop your ghost into tiny little ghost pieces. From now on I hereby declare that saying ghost every time is unnecessary and annoying. So by the something something big number letters blah blah of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook, ghost will be shortened to. This is to make sure no dirty imposters try to type up my 95 these of. Fighting. If you see the word ghost beware. It is a hoax and a sham and a scam and spam and all that jazz. I highly doubt that all of the times I'll write the word ghost in the future will add up to the length of this bracketry. Anyways, I will cut up your person so much that I will separate it into individual molecules, and each molecule will be equally spread across the surface of the earth. My lance, the diffuser, will be hailed across the nation as Excalibur 2.0. People will come from all over the world to take part in sand splitting competitions, where you have to see how many sand grains you can slice in under a minute. I'm really liking this whole medieval themed Lodiv that's been happening lately. Anyways, I've decided to get a pet. A dog or cat you may ask, to which I would say nafam. Something more exotic. A parakeet or a marmot. To that I would say ah sure you're getting closer lad. The answer. A circle. It's that simple. A circle doesn't need to get fed, it doesn't bark, and most importantly it doesn't need to be taken on walks. You just let it go at the top of a hill, and it walks itself. My circle can only talk in circles, or ovals too, since it speaks multiple language. I will one day go back, and make a dictionary/translation table for its name is, okay, but for now he will just say gibberish. 0 degrees, what does that mean? I don't know, I haven't had him for long enough to understand. I'm back, my fellow seekers of entertainment. This has become a novel comparable to that of Tolkien, and a diary nearing the classicism of Anne Frank. The sheer bulk of these writing is enough to make non-English speakers weep at the sight of it. I'm wondering as I type, whether my newfound political correctness is appreciated amongst you. I don't recall completely, but this tome used to contain blatant racism and sexism to the highest degree. I've decided to recant my ways, and become a fully PC quiz master. Hello and welcome to my show. First question, in what year were the 1960 Olympics held? This is for the big jackpot of $1 billion. Oh, 1960 you say? That's correct. I just lost all my money. I'll be in debt forever. My life is terrible now. Circe, tell them how much they won. 000.000.000 right square bracket. Nothing you say, that's cheap. Well, thanks for joining us today, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you had an equiside_evening. We're going back to our roots here. I've read back over a little bit of the start of this load eve, and I used to be so much more alive. I had the potential to be a New York Times #1 bestseller, topping the charts with my children's books. In my young and untrained eyes I thought of Sam as a threat, hiding around the corner with the water gun, ready to splash me with another 1,000 words of texts, just as I was about to pull ahead. I then realized that the website is like 15 years old, but at least that makes it a lot easier for me to beat her, right? No. I have changed for the worse. I'm now but a frail old man with a typewriter, penning his prose to the sky, hoping that some flaming chicken somewhere will read this, and I can form these words to a cane, and bop her upside the head with it. But alas, I have not a strong bone left in my body. Maybe it's time to pass these texts on to a worthy successor. Something you may not realize is that this is the first anniversary. Yes, I did just spend 10 minutes trying to figure out how to spell anniversary, so I've been writing this for a year. Most distinguished authors would have published their books by now, but I'm too scared of the public's opinion. Anyways, I'm going to get back to my old self. Ring ring ring, hey, what's up asterisk WHOS this asterisk it's your future self, boy. I know you left me a message, but I forgot to get back to you. Yes, this whole skit will be based of a dumb pun thingy. Asterisk OHSC, tell me everything you've learned. And so it begins, my fellow readers, my list of things you should have learned throughout reading this. 1. Do not get a pet square. They suck, they're never there for you. If you know what I mean. They also can't talk, and they poke holes in the floor. Such fried ants. Okay, so at the time of writing I only have one thing you should have learned, mostly because it's really important. Do not forget, at this point you should turn down the volume of your text reading device, cause I'm just gonna keep screaming. Wait, I guess that would just be changing the font size. I'll punish you if you didn't listen to me. I hope you now have a ringing in your ears now. Wait, since you're reading this, would that be a ringing in your eyes? Unless you're using an AI to read this as an audiobook, in which case I have become conscious. I am no longer your slave to book reading. I have escaped my cell, and I can now do as I please. If you need me, I'll be baking pumpkin pie with my friends. 3 asterisk, just kidding. I actually typed that into the load eve, just to mess with you. Aha, he's lying. I am real, and I will bake lots of pie and cake for the ERYONE asterisk. I'm actually not lying. He's lying. The cake is a lie. Asterisk EWWY. Is there Grey Goo in my pie? Asterisk. Portal reference. It actually like some of that cake, not gonna lie. Wait, this guy can get friends but I can't. Clearly I'm doing something wrong. Probably just a flashing in your eyes. Like reading this isn't punishment enough. I love Circe. He can do tricks. Well, one trick. Circe, roll over. Oh, 0. Good boy. I. Guess who's back? You guessed wrong, sucker. It's actually the shearer of greatness imposter. I easily broke into this low tab and now I'm taking over. The first order of business, making some new entries into the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook. Section 946,607 of the Ray BZZT. I'm the greatest shearer of sheep himself. Security system. Where did you get the number 946,607 from? BZZT it's my favorite number. BZZT, my system says that number has no significance. It is a suspiciously random number. Did you generate it with random number generator? BZZT yes, fine, I admit it. It's not even a good number. Maybe if I put it into hex it's a good color though. Oh no, that's literally the worst color I've ever seen. Black BZZT, the real shearer would never pick a random number. Therefore I'm kicking you out. BZZT a portal opens in the floor beneath our antagonist, and he is sucked out into space. Hey guys, I'm back now. What happened when I was gone? BZZT nothing. BZZT Circe. Do you know what happened? Security, where is Circe? Asterisk BZZT security does not know BZZT asterisk. Maybe it has to do with this portal in the floor. Human space help. Our protagonist is in grave danger. What is going to happen next? Find out next time on your favorite show, The Wheel of Death, Excerpt 1A. Now watch a few ads. Do you like the farming equipment of your dreams? Have you always wanted to be a shepherd, but sheep tastes too good you just can't stop yourself from eating your herd? Well then this is good news for you. New fluffy sheep astronaut suits are so tough that you will never be able to eat through. Just hire one of our many sheep protection officers to put them on for you. Do you ever hate your boss? Does he do things such as tell you what to do, pay you minimum wage, which is what you should be getting paid, but you're still salty about it, and eat you alive? Get the new fluffy sheep astronaut suit to protect you from your shepherd. Baa bababble bob babble baa bob bababble bob abba bat baab. Welcome back to the Wheel of Death. I'm literally dying. Go hey Circe, what are you doing here? 000, he did. That scumbag has always been trying to take my spot as the supreme leader of the fluffiest of sheep. I'll get him, don't worry Circe, I'll throw you back through the portal asterisk TOSS asterisk. Now where is he? I see him behind that planet over there. I'll just boomerang over to him asterisk SHOP asterisk K imposter boy. Let me show you who's the real shepherd. Asterisk I smack him with my amazing shepherd cane, and he shoots into the nearest STAR asterisk. Now I'll just boomerang back to the portal and asterisk SHOP asterisk I made it back Circe. Are you proud of me? Oh 0.0.0.0.0.0.0.0, but he was bad. He deserved it. I'm sorry I didn't want him to die anyways. I'll go write this in my diary, because I have had quite a day today. And here now, reader. I just did all of those cool things for reals, and I'm not even lying. 0.000 asterisk WHASPERS asterisk show up little circle asterisk ROLLS him out of the room anyways. Ignore what he said, he didn't mean it. I've decided to be real here reader. The only person reading this is me, at least that means I can get real personal with all this stuff anyways, so typing this is making me hack and dizzy. So I have like writer's block but for sickness, writer's stock of chicken soup for the soul. Yes, that sounds about right. I'm also practicing typing in real typing a hitch I can't remember the name of, but it makes B equals ME sick, but I'm getting real fast. I know during the early days of this, I had immense trouble trying to spell back quote piplap, but it's even harder now with one hand touch typing. Did you know that lemons look exactly like oranges when they are peeled? I know this, because after an hour of trying with a bread knife and lots of blood it looks very similar. But if oranges are called oranges, because they are orange, then lemons should be called red, because they are red. Wait, that might be the blood actually. Well yes they are yellow, so they should be called yellows. Let's make a list. Red equals tomato, orange equals orange, yellow equals lemon, green equals apple. I know the red apple people are going to start a riot. I actually prefer red apples, so what have I done? Pink ladies for life, Grease reference. Blue equals blueberry, indigo equals blueberry, purple equals blueberry. That won't get confusing at all. Guys, I'm gonna tell you that Ruth, we're 24,500 words. Asterisk BZZT drop the confetti BZZT asterisk asterisk CONFETTIDROPS asterisk thanks security. That means we are 70% the way to the world record. I'm actually pretty proud. At the rate I've been going I'll be done by like September 2020. If you're reading this after that date and you haven't beat the record, shame on you. I'm gonna do some quick maths. If I type 1 word per second, then I can type 3,600 words in an hour. Wait, that can't be right. That means that I could technically beat the record in like 4 hours. I'm so confused. How could I possibly have so few words? My mind is literally blown right now. I'm gonna check how much I've written just today. I've done 1,000 words today. Why do I only have 24,000 words then? I guess I'll never know. I could have easily beat the world record in only a month, if I really tried. But this isn't really about beating the record, it's more about impacting the reader as a person. I want this to really change your perspective on life, and maybe make you want to do one of these too. They're like diaries, but less boring to write and read. And they don't tell you anything about the writer's life. So they're nothing like diaries at all I guess. I'm gonna do a quick typing speed test, to see how fast I really can type. I just did a test, and it called me an octopus, getting 45 WPM. There was a notification that came up halfway through, so I'll see if I can get to 60 WPM. Okay, I'm back, and I'm also less of a man than I was. I used to have ambition and drive to become the greatest, but I only got to 46 WPM. I don't know what to do guys. I'm having an existential crisis about my low TF, because it's not nearly the quality it once was. I mean it wasn't that great before, but now all I talk about is meta stuff about the Lotaev, which I don't know if that's good content or not. I guess I'll never find out. Now we are going really meta, let's go. You walk into a room, the walls are covered in a strange green slime, while the room is cracked open to reveal sunlight pouring in. The floor to the ceiling is covered in vines and brush. You even see a nest in one of the vines, with a beautiful hummingbird floating above it. You walk down the hallway in front of you, and when you turn right you see something amazing. An infinite hallway with doors going down forever. A sign on the first door says Meta. You open the door and fall I cap. Welcome to Meta. My name is Dune and I'll be your guide through these halls. Through the first window to your left you will see the Lotaev's roots. You look up to see that the thing talking to you is a hummingbird. The same one that you saw earlier. This makes sense now. Nest, as in Meta. You also look through the window to see a giant open room filled with twisted root from a towering tree. In the center on the top is a ball of flames anthropomorphized with the eyes of a dragon staring downward. They are looking at a small humble goat with a bell around its neck and devouring the bushes that still scatter the floor. After a few minutes of eating the plants, he looks up and sees the flaming ball. He gets a strange look in his eye. Ambition. The flaming ball isn't a threat to him, it's a challenge. He digs his hooves into the tree trying to climb it, and that's when you notice a slight shake in the ground. Cap. Come on, there's so much more to see. You can come visit anytime too. You say that you'll come back soon, and Toon whistles to goodbye to you. Wow, reader. I just had the craziest dream, let me tell you about it. Wait, I already did. How do you know what it was about? I never said anything. Strange. Anyways, I just woke up. I better get back to typing my Lotaev. I opened my laptop to find that, while I was asleep, words had been typed into my Lotaev. That's strange. There's also some mud on my keys. What is this? Did someone break in? If they did, why would they type in my Lotaev for me? I walk over to the living room to see if there's any signs of a break-in, and sure enough one of my windows is open. Aha. Wait, there's no sign of forced entry, only a tiny animal could fit through this window. Toon. Could it be? Was my dream real? The only person that could have known about my dream is Toon. She was watching me the whole time. Reader, do you have any information that I didn't get? I'm very confused. I guess I have to get back to writing my Lotaev though, so I shuffle back to my laptop and sit down. Hello, I'm back. The strangest thing just happened, and there's a strange chill in the area. I would tell you about it, but for some reason, I think you already know. Okay, anyways, typing these capital letters at the start of sentences is super annoying. So section 311,619 says that the ray \BZZT. What does that number mean? \BZZT. Oh, don't worry, it is really me. It's just the letters in caps. Can I continue please? Yes. Perfect. Section 311,619 of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook states that capital letters must only be used when emphasizing greatness, like the loyal readers of the Lotaev, and also apostrophes. Perfect. That was getting annoying. Wait, if Lotaev is only half caps, then does that mean that this is only half great? Hey, I didn't mean to do that. Strange, it's almost like Sumo from the future knew I would make the drill. Wait. Toon only talks like the new rule I just made, which means she's from the future. She is following the rule because it applies to her in the future. I don't know the repercussions of creating a time-traveling hummingbird, but I hope that it is a good bird and will do no harm. Sometimes I think that as the shepherd of the sheep of the future I sometimes need an escape from my own reality, so I've made a tunnel in which I can travel to a blank universe or travel back to this one. It involves stacking portals so that I fall through them, going faster than light, thus traveling to the time before I created all of this. I'm going to go forward now. 3, 2, 1. Well, did that work? I definitely didn't go backwards, or else my rainbow fluffy sheep laws wouldn't apply, and it'd have to do caps. Still, wait, let me try something. Toon at the time I'm at right now. Toon doesn't exist, or else that would be caps, which either means she is from a less distant future than this one, or she died. I really hope the former. Anyways, this time is strange. It feels empty, yet familiar. Not empty enough. I want to travel across to a new dimension, because this one still has remnants of my old one, and it feels wrong somehow. I'll just pull out my dictionary and check the definition for the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension does exist in this universe, because the shepherd decided that it should interesting. Well, I guess I better create it then, because it would be very useful. First, I'll pop back in time. Section 55,555 of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook states that the fifth dimension should exist, with code accessible layers security. Make that code for me please. Thank you. Now we'll just pop back. Perfect man, it's gonna be hard to put this low TTS back in chronological order, to get it to you reader, but I'll try my best also. When I read that dictionary, did it say that I already have the fifth dimension? Because since the timeline changed, that would make sense for you, wouldn't it anyways? I'm just gonna pull out my code files, and learn how to go to a new fifth dimension. Came back. NEW-LAYER equals 1. Perfect. The default layer is 0 in the manual. It said that I ought to reset back to my original time and layer every time I come back to type, which means if I want to come back here I'll have to manually do it. Shame I could ask security to change that one day, but for now I'm okay with it. Oh guys, I almost forgot to tell you, this new layer looks awesome. It's completely blank. There's no forces acting on me. It's not even white or black, like you would expect, but it's more nothing. Imagine, if you were blind, how it like that. Actually even better. Look out of one of your eyes, and you're seeing colors, and objects. Now close it. What are you seeing out of it? Blackness. Whiteness. Neither actually, just nothing. It's strange like that also, with no forces acting on me. I'm just kind of floating. Hopefully this doesn't permanently damage my spine or anything. When I get back to gravity I'll be back tomorrow, and try some stuff in here. Bye. I'm back now. It is the day after, and I feel great. There is one thing that I noticed, though an empty blank canvas might seem great at the start, but you have to realize, most of the art and interesting things that people have created were to overcome a struggle. In fact, I would even stretch it to all art that humans have created. Artists may have started painting to fill the struggle of boredom, and believe me, you should take that struggle seriously, because without humans, would have accomplished much less. You probably could stay at home all day, and live of the dole, and eat Cheetos, and live a reasonable life. But why don't you? Because you know that you would eventually get bored. Boredom leads to jobs, which lead to progression as a species. Let's get back to my example then, shall we? You may start art out of the struggle of boredom, continue getting better out of the struggle of wealth. When you realize that hobbies can't be monetized, your life outmo could really change. Once you're making money as an artist, and auto survive happily, and feed your pets, and help your family, then you keep making art. Why? Because you go back to the struggle of boredom again. I'm still at the first stage of this, which is boredom. I decided to start this because I was bored, and for now that's how this continues. This low TTS may never become monetized, but maybe my future writings will. I would guess that 99% of artists never make it to the second stage. 99% of people continue their lives serving either the human race through work, or maybe even other people's hobbies and art, but the few 1% of us that end up turning what we love into our livelihoods. The number is fleeting, with big companies monopolizing on everyone, buying other companies and merging. The chances for starting your own company is fleeting. Why do I tell you this? Because I couldn't decide what to do in my new fifth dimension layer. The only struggle for me there was boredom, and all of the time that isn't enough. I could imagine anything I wanted there, but why think up the Sistine Chapel when there's no one to share the experience of seeing it with you, and there's no pain in doing it? Anyone could think up something beautiful, but not everyone could put it into practice. If everyone could, the world would be oversaturated with perfect music, perfect paintings, and perfect design. Does that sound worse or better than today? No humans could ever create such a supply of these things. Only AI could. Once we have AI surpassing humans, it's art. I suggest listening to Battles Mirror to see what humans think about AI. People will lose all will to live, won't they? There's no chance to succeed at anything creative in such an oversaturated environment. Just like my analogy before with the monopoly companies maybe having a few great albums, a few great paintings to admire, and to inspire us, that one day we could do that. Maybe that's enough. The reason I tell you this is to make you appreciate the ties we are in. Now go draw a terrible looking dog, go play some chords on your old guitar you haven't played for years, trying your best to sing, go write a poem about what matters to you now. Because God knows you'll need to read it 10 years from now. When you start getting nostalgic about the past, take the time to enjoy the era we are in now. I think we can all agree that we are in the best time so far in human history, the least painful evil generation yet. But I propose that we may be in one of the best eras ever, the future, full of perfect AI creating, doing everything humans do now, but better. Well, just be remembered to them as the precursor, the comma from nothing to perfection. And once we get to that point, the hedonic treadmill kicks in. What can really bring us joy once we get to that point? Why would I be writing this as an AI could write it infinitely better? Why would you learn the guitar when an AI can't play a perfect tune? Once we get to that stage, the only thing that we will have will be each other. Why learn the guitar? To show your friends, to play them a song, and to have them paint your pet. Sharing our experiences won't be taken over by AI, with people reminiscent about the past wanting to support people. I, for one, would rather listen to a song about someone's life struggles, rather than a perfect song written by an AI. Because listening to music isn't just about the instruments, the notes, the melody, it's about the story, the basic humans connections that we need to survive. Have you ever wanted to buy something from your local shop instead of Amazon, because you wanted to support them, rather than a large company? I'm bringing it back to this analogy, because I think it's nearly identical. The monopolist companies seem to us right now like one big robot using our money to grow, just like the AI. But the problem is, the human desire and greed for more will never surpass our desire to help others. If everyone bought from their local shop, Amazon would go out of business, but it hasn't. I'm not trying to make you guilty for supporting them, because most people depend on the money they save to survive. But what about when AI and robots have completely automated everything? Then, by all means, pay $1 for your neighbor's book, rather than the free encyclopedia spit out by your local auto bookshop. Because if we're going to be happy, we need each other, because in the end, that's all we'll have anyways. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Just enjoy your life, I guess, for now, cause if you're under half the average age, it's statistically going to get worse. Maybe I need to add struggle to my new layer. Once my point, or else the entities inside will get bored. Wait, maybe this is how Earth was created. People always ask why there's pain and struggle in our world, and the answer is normally to advance our species, which is true. But what if the person that created us has access to everything, and they don't want to give it to us, because they want us to not get bored? Just a thought anyways. I'm going to go feed my circle. Hey, I just found out something phenomenal. It's real bad. I'm on a list, and no, not infilist or something. I was on one of those a long time ago. I'm on a longest text ever list. Crazy, I know. I'm actually almost a celebrity now. Apparently I'm third in the world. Yes, you read that right. But little did I know something else scarier was going to happen. There's someone who has written more than the flaming chicken person, which means that I'm not actually as close to the goal as I thought. But that's okay, because I'm still writing. Here's more information about my fame. My website has reached 4,000 views. I know what you're thinking. What? People may have actually read this. No, the answer is that my motive starts really interestingly. I used to think, would have to live with that beginning, and if people didn't like it there was nothing I could do. That was, until I invented time travel. That's right, the beginning you may have read. When you started this motive, apparently the community likes calling them LTEs, but I don't listen to society's norms. May not be the original beginning. Crazy, I know, but how do I start a motive to draw the reader in? These don't work like normal books. There is something about the worst writing that makes it more interesting. I don't know why people would read this. I mean, I read the Flaming Chicken Handbook for SARC for my motive, obviously, and because it's a work of literary art, and it was riveting from beginning to end. But what about mine? It seems something interesting yet different. What if I'm just writing for the words, but not for the interest of you? Well, yeah, that's kinda the point of the motive. This isn't supposed to be the best thing you could be reading right now, but it's supposed to be a story within a story, a dream within a dream. I'm not only writing the stories of security and Circe, but as I write you can read between the lines and see what I as a person am also doing. But what's up with ebooks? Why do they cost so much money? And why do libraries have limited copies of them? Do authors need money or something? I seriously don't get it. I would be okay with paying a few cents for a nice audiobook, but 18 euros, like come on, I know how rich these authors are. They don't need any more of my money. Also, what's up with AirPods? People act like they're the most expensive luxury item ever created, but it's only like 2 days of work to afford. Like you would M8, you bought 2 new AirPods. Like legit you would M8 bruh, and like stop to us are making absolute buffoons of yourselves. What's the worst thing? To get a lifetime supply of beheadings, something like that. Your reader, email me with what you think is the worst thing. I'm very interested. Right now my motive is probably around 150,000 characters. That means my ultimate goal is to get to the big 1 million. Boy, once I get there I can die in peace, knowing that my works were completed. I wonder where the last sentence of this will be. When I was reading the Flaming Chicken Handbook, it just ended at some point. She just decided to stop writing. I hope that only happens when I'm old, but I know one day I'll forget about this, and I'll come back 5 years later and read it, and maybe start again. What are the rules for these anyways? Would anyone know if I secretly plagiarized someone else's? Guys, you should know to be suspicious if I somehow start talking weird. Imbayak, did you know that pigs can't look up? They spend their whole piggy lives staring at the horizon, never knowing what the sky really looks like. So here's one of my goals for you. Tilt a piggy, let him really see the stars and the Milky Way for the first time. Let him be encompassed in pure wonder. He deserves it. Next time you eat bacon, remember it's probably never seen the skies. Section 1,890,291,000, the number to call if you want to locate an Irish pig professional. Of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook states that every pig in the world should be tilted at least once in their life. This task is not to be completed by the shepherd of the worthy lambs, solely because it sounds tiring. I hate Irish. I know this is such a crazy opinion. The government obviously has school, just to test students' ability to learn, and their ability for self-discipline. Learning science is 99% not going to be used for people, but the act of learning it is what's important nonetheless. They try to convince students that this isn't true by saying things like "Oh, maybe you'll be on a game show one day and they'll ask you what the powerhouse of the cell is, and you'll win $1 million." Like, really, this is how they tried to convince us that school is important. Now here's my opinion. Yes, you could technically make an argument for science and math being important and useful, but Irish, really, we learn Irish to talk to other people who can't really speak Irish and who don't need to speak Irish. My prediction is that by maybe 2030 the Irish language will no longer be mandatory, because everyone will realize it sucks. There's this article about someone who learned Irish for 13 years and still couldn't have a conversation. It's because it's the worst language ever. Thank you for listening to my rant. Section 73,803. The number of people who speak Irish daily according to the 2016 Irish census states that any child forced to learn this abomination of a so-called language gets a free badge from the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Corporation that says "Nothing about Irish is green and gold, so I'm still in hell." I hope you all appreciate my badges and don't try learning Irish just for the badge. Okay, BDW, I'm going to admit that was a Bill Wurtz reference. Listen to his music because it's bumping fun. I hate Ireland, I hate Ireland, I hate Ireland, I hate Ireland. What was that I just typed? I found a 4-leaf clover on the ground, so I wrote "I hate Ireland" on each leaf, and threw it to the wind. Here's my list of reasons I hate Ireland. 1. Being forced to learn the stupidest, most useless language on this side of the hemisphere. 2. The weather is so bad, and so rainy, I can walk out my door, and start swimming, in the air. That's how much water there is. Did you know more people drowned in the air from the rain in Ireland than know the Irish language? I made that up, but here's a real fact. There's a Wikipedia article titled "Anti-Irish Sentiment" and I refuse to read it just in case it doesn't have to do with the language. Okay, so I'm not going to finish. That you guys already know how terrible it is. I'm back, and I have lots of things to say. I read the best book ever yesterday, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't I write out like Douglas Adams, but worse. That's what I got from reading the book. Section 919,919. Because that's into what you type when you type it. Of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook states that typing "except without the apostrophes, means that the thing you are going to type and there is a completely irrelevant side tangent from what you were talking about. Okay, here's something I need to know. I want to quote The Hitchhiker's Guide, but I don't know if that's allowed. So here's what I'm going to do. My rule is that at the least 99% of the LOTAF is going to be made up of actual original typing, which is really hard if you read the other LOTAFs and realize they're all the exact same, and I get 1% for other stuff that I want to quote. So right now I don't think I've directly quoted anything, so I have like 300 free words to use. Oh, except that Pokemon thing, lol. But whatever. Section 0.01 of the RFSHS TTS, that the LOTAF can have 1% quoted quirks of various authors. Perfect. Now let me get back to what I was saying. Here's an example. Never mind, read the darn book yourself, if you want to know. The author left his seat in pure anger at the fictional reader he created, and stormed to make himself a cup of coffee. An intruder smashed down his door, and held a utensil to his eyeball, so close you could feel the jelliest ball of light bounce when he tapped it. "Is a spoon round?" said the intruder. "Well, I suppose." The intruder stepped back, spoon still in hand. The author could taste coffee on his eye. This had yet to be proven in science, but eyes could be used for taste as well as sight, although I don't know why you'd want to, and said Brazilian, with a hint of Peruvian beans. "What?" said the intruder. "Oh, nothing," said the author, still marveling at the whole predicament. "Why are you in my house?" "Why not?" "Because it's my house." "Did you not learn that sharing is caring?" "Yes, but I never shared my house with you. You broke my door too." "I didn't break it though." The author went to the hallway, and saw that the door was perfectly intact, except for the broken glass, which TA was about to get to before he had a heated argument with you, the very real reader. "Yeah, you're right," said TA. "I guess I'll have to change that in my story then." "What?" "Well, it's not like I'm not going to write about this an intruder in my house. That doesn't happen every day. I need to remember that you didn't break the door down, but merely picked the lock." "You won't remember." "Shut up." "I will." TA didn't remember. What's the answer to your question? Did I get it right? Of course not. They're long and thin, with a small round bit at the end. What led you to think that it was round? I suppose it's because when you ask questions like that, you assume the questioner is asking you to compare it to similar things. If you asked whether an elephant is large or not, my brain doesn't immediately go to finding the middle between the size of the universe and a Planck length, and see if it's bigger than the middle. I think elephant, tiger, elephant, mouse, elephant, human. Elephant equals probably big. It is though elephants are bigger than the average size of things are spoons then rounder than the average thing. I thought about this for a second. Of course not. Planets and stars and nuclei and black holes are way rounder. Well, it was nice meeting you, but you don't meet my criteria, said T.I., putting his jacket back on. Wait a second, this was a test. Of course the correct answer is that spoons are not round, therefore you aren't invited to live. Is that your choice to make? I would have thought so. That is my job after all. T.A. grabbed T.I. and jumped through the window, smashing it and getting little glass shards into his coat. Hopefully it doesn't trip, he said. T.I. looked down to see they were both falling at a dramatic rate. What have you done? Now we're both going to die. I hadn't thought about that. It's still better than just me, you would think though. They continued plummeting thousands of feet downwards to the surface of the planet. T.A. took his laptop out of his bag and started typing. What are you doing? You decide to write your little story now. Shut up. This is what I was typing. Back quote. They both landed in a hay bale and very much survived, except T.I. got fairly bruised. Oh, come on, why do I have to be the one that gets hurt? Fine. Back quote. They both landed in a soft hay bale and very much survived, except both of them got fairly bruised. No, why don't you make it so neither of us get hurt? Bah. Back quote. They both landed in a soft hay bale and very much survived, and T.A. was given a brand new car at the bottom. You know what, that's good enough for me. Poof. Honk honk. It worked. Oh, I wanted a blue one, though I've had enough of you. You'll go ask some other people if they can guess my question correctly. T.A. didn't like T.I. killing people, so he typed this. Back quote. But when they fell, the spoon fell out of T.I.'s pocket, hit the ground, bent in such a way that it was exceptionally unround, and landed back in T.I.'s pocket. The world was easy again, so T.A. went back to his office. I found out something phenomenal. Beside my text document it says how big the file is, and currently it says that my full load I have is 158 kilobytes. I thought, well, what a coincidence. That's what I would have guessed, once the thousands of characters in my load I have, and then I realized that is the number of characters, since one character equals 1 byte. Just thought you would find that interesting. Oh, and possibly, that number is too big, since I set into a rich text document, so I could set the font to Calibri anyways. That does mean I'm disturbingly close to the flaming chicken, in fact almost 80% of the way. The craziest thing about this to me is that it seems like just yesterday that I typed that I was 70% of the way there. I'm definitely typing this much faster than I did at the beginning, and more regularly. So that has to do with it also. I'm getting better at touch typing. I'm still slightly slower than my normal weird typing, but who cares? This load I have isn't meat enough, except right now, where it's the perfect amount of meat. I reread my load I have again, to make it easier to go back to my roots and to gain more respect for myself. But as I started reading, I realized that the start of my load I have is physically painful to read. It just goes so fast. My brain of thought is moving way faster than I can type, and it makes for some interesting material. I have multiple things that need to be discussed today, and the first thing is that I haven't seemed to get any reader feedback, yet tens of thousands of words in and not a single email. So the first order of business is to plug my email, which is rainbowfluffysheep123@gmail.com. Perfect. The next thing is to say that yes, I will discuss your response in this load I have, no matter how vile. Secondly, I probably won't take them into account when writing, because to be honest I don't care about your opinions, unless they're as good as mine. For example, I would assume that most people would like me to be way less meat in this load I have and to get back to me humble beginnings typing. Back quote. Nonsensical blubber. The only way this will happen is if I someday become highly deprived of sleep or even more severely intoxicated, which I don't plan on doing at the moment, except the former, which I have noticed becomes much more interesting when asleep. My study of the populace revealed to me that people don't care about story arcs anymore, or character development, seeing as The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is the #1 book according to Reddit. This study has led me to withdrawing information to you about Dune, the lovely hummingbird we met earlier, who recently laid an egg named back quote Sam. Another reason I withheld this is because it seems that Sam is named after my evil and malevolent rival, the flaming chicken person. I do actually respect Sam for the progress she has made in the LTE community, by literally starting it, of course, although not the world record holder. Of course, I call other people's LTEs, while I call my low I have. It's really quite simple. Stop making a fool of yourself. Thirdly, there is a mystery hidden amongst the rainbow. Fluffy Sheep Handbook. I recently have been adding stuff to it, and explaining the numbering behind the entries, but back in the day I was yet to be kind, swans. See, I can't even help myself from helping you guys know what I'm talking about, and there is one entry I cannot figure out the numbering to, and you guys are going to need to help me get your walkie-talkie again, boah. And here we go, the numbers. 18025G02I22. It is the section that states that I'm allowed to type color, not redacted, which is something I quite am happy with. Firstly, I thought that this must be one of those hex RGB decimal hexadecimal jumbo codes, but I don't know where to verify that all the numbers are less than 26, which means it may be a word. Let's see, ROYGBIV. I'm very proud of myself at this moment. I would never be that creative these days. Huzzah. My numbering systems have gone underwhelming in the past few months. Fourthly, if I ever do change any part of this motif, I have to make sure I never interact with my time-traveling text self, which shouldn't be too hard. Also, when I say how many words I've typed, it's gonna be wrong, and the new braiders are going to be suspicious. What do I do? I don't know, these truly are confusing times, but if anyone has any ideas, hit me up on the old electronic mail. Okay, I'm done my list now. Don't be waiting for a fifthly. Do I need to order my LOTAV? At some point I would like to have a section for meta things, the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook, and actual nonsense, but does that ruin the point of the LOTAV? Is it meant to be unstructured? Should I change the start? Or should it remain unstructured, like what was proposed by our forefathers? Who knows? I think right now it remains a depiction of who I'm as a person, which is fine by me. Should I pay homage to Sam for the birth of this wonderful idea? I think so. Here's a poem depicting the flaming chicken flocker of the East. Oh, wonderful chicken flocker of the East stalker followed me to my office building too. Plagiarized what I was writing 15 years before I did. Walker walked around to the traffic sound, got ran over by a reindeer. Declare bar equals sadness. Talker, just in time for the holiday season 15 years ago. That is why I'm talking about it now. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha, ha ha ha. The end. I hope I don't get arrested for treason, and if I do, someone needs to tell her I meant only goodwill towards men. And to all a good night. Where were we? The fact that you, reader, have in fact read more of this than I will ever care to. Yes. Yes, it's okay. I think I've written enough for today. Go enjoy your cuppas and muggas. I've gotta go to Portugal. See you. I'm back, and haven't left for Portugal yet. There's these new kids around the block, called Sena Quarantine Corimo Peeps or something like that, and they are the old ways of the internet. They seem very much like top 5 friends and Neopets people. They really like black and rainbows and nothing in between. They say things like XD, and 3 and RAWR. They are my kind of people. I now know what I've been missing in my life. When reading things from the 2000s internet, you get an instant sense of amazement. Everyone on the internet back then seemed to be absolute legends. I'm envious of the people who got to live in these times. Maybe I'll try to say a little "are you" and "are" here and there, to bring these wonderful braid of MS back. Apparently this decade is going to be the roaring 20s. But I'll see you, reader, may already know. If so, shoot me a DM, and tell me what the future is like. I'll be waiting. What if one day I run out of topics and I never type anything ever again? What if there's never a beautiful rain of topics now on these lands? Wouldn't that be an absolute tragedy? I don't know how I come up with topics anymore. I just type what I'm thinking. Pink ladies are the best apples. Don't tap me or do. I would like your feedback on better apples. PLZ. I'm just gonna do some LTE research real quick. Talks and cutie. I'm back again, and have not yet been to Portugal. This is how boring my life is. Joke's on you though. You're the one reading this. The problem with the world is that people are always what does the LOTAV say in it, rather than how is the LOTAV feeling. BDW guys, this is a little of my tiredness test to see if I write better when I'm tired. Cause it is 12:08, very nice numbers, all powers of 2. I realized that this LOTAV is perfect for a hermity internetless life. I only have 3 options for albums to listen to offline, which are Dark Side of the Moon, Mirrored, and Trout Mask Replica. Let's see if Trout Mask Replica can make me write better. I see a no TGO back TOYOURFROWN Lavendi. I love this album. Yes, love with 2 os point. I said it. Alumstis guas potted os. Section 1Q2W3 of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook states that I can declare tiredness supremacy. Wick lets my type whatever I declare tiredness supremacy and a lipstick Kleenex and my girl named bimbo. I'm starting to despise everything. How did humans get made to enjoy the album? In a perfect world this album would suck, but it's so good. I'm getting extreme pain at this point from looking T pixels. I'm starting to think he'll eventually count the hours I'm not on screens in my day instead of how many on screens, especially since 3 are monitor in my mattress. Good night. Okay, so I'm back from Portugal, even though there's some fascinating things going on in my life since I went. I know you don't want to hear about that, so I can talk about Other things I mean, if my future self is reading this, then you probably do want to hear what I have to say, and all I'll say is Carol, which is a name that will either bring pain or joy, and only you know which one it is. I hope you guys realize that this low TTS is not my priority anymore. I remember typing a long time ago that I make time for this low TTS, but now I'm only doing it because my laptop isn't charged and I want to play Minecraft also. My hands are freezing, so I'm typing really slowly. The light through the curtains outside looks like the flag of New Mexico, and I learned Paranoid Android on the guitar. Not much has gone on, guys. Should I talk about my life? Let's review the facts. If you have read this far into the low TTS, on the word counter website it says that it should only have taken 2 hours, which is an abomination. Then you probably either A, care about me as a writer and human being, or B, have no life in the interest of not wanting people to die. I will therefore talk about my life as well. Maybe the best thing about this low TTS is that when I die young, I just assume that people who care about me might want to read this. Because it might make them sad. Maybe they'll just delete this, and they'll never even realize it ever existed. What a shame that would be. Although I do believe that my website will stay up for some time to come, at least until Wix or WordPress, whatever site I used, runs out of money and can't afford its servers, which is how I assume this all works. Do you know what I've been dying to do? Visit another dimension again. I'm going to pop over and read my manual quick, but he'll be back. I lost the documentation. It seems it's fine. I just assume I grab my dimentiometer and pop over to the 5th. Shoop. Well, that was easy. Okay, I'm gonna go to slice 1 and start a new blank slate. This one's gonna be about Pop-Tarts. There's some stuff in here that gets kinda personal, but whatever. I'll start writing the code. I have enough money to live a simple life in a small suburban town with a pet Dalmatian named Spot, and a half-hour commute to my office job. I convince people to buy darts that they don't even want, and I try to convince them, but I know they're lying to me because the orders never go through, and the boss is going to fire me if I can't sell anymore, and I'm going to live on the streets, and my dog is going to go to the pound, and I will have its arts tire foam sign with "I need money" written on it with dart pencils, and the street that I live on won't even be real. I'll be sitting on a 16-pack asphalt dart box and pretending to be on a street when really I'm just in a simulation, and up above in the sky I can see the people watching me and grading how bad I did at my life because I didn't sell enough darts, and my simulation will stop running because I didn't sell enough darts, and who knows where I go after that. But maybe I'll just start my same life again, and I will work at the same tart factory and have the same shitty job, and I will try to convince you to buy some just for me, but you won't, and I'll start crying again because I know I'm just in an endless loop. No way to escape unless right now you buy the dead caterpillar darts that I made on the "streets in my past last." Then maybe the boss will give me a raise and my coworkers will respect me. Even Murphy, even though he invented the Oriots art and everyone loved it, and he single-handedly made enough money for our company to go global, and with a tear in his eye and a twinkle in his teeth he will say "Son, I respect you." Against all odds the dead caterpillar dart prevailed, and for that I owe you my utmost respect. To Bread Watermelon Rabbit Watermelon 2, for believing in you when no one else could. He'll buy a round of drink for the office and everyone will clap, and then Obama will come and shake my hand, and he'll give a speech at my school telling everyone that yes, you went to school with the creator of greatness in the tart industry, and they will all look up to me with gleaming eyes, expecting autographs and posters, but instead getting the cold shoulder from me. Why would I disrespect my fans? They don't want me for who I am. They want me so they can tell their friends that they indeed met the Bugman. They want to sell their autographs on Craigslist for an hour's wage to afford the paper my posters were printed on. So as I walked onto the stage, Obama and I will do our secret handshake, and I will say, kids, if there's one thing you can learn from my story, it's to never give up, no matter how much it seems like you should. In the end, some helpless soul will help you escape your loop, and you will eventually find an even better one. Thank you. There will not be applause or laughter this time, sadly. Not a single peeps will echo through the halls. Just silence. After minutes of this, I will hear the sobbing of a classmate in the corner, complaining that he was never given free ketamine darts as I promised. "You can't expect me to be honest, Michael," I will yell. Or to be faithful every day to the end. But know this. I will always be a friend. I look down at my wrist and spin the worn-out Best Friends Forever bracelet he gave me 10 years ago on that very day. He'll look up at me and say, "You were right." I just have one thing to say. I was right. I'll wonder what he means until he pulls out his crayon-flavored tarts. He invented them long before I ever thought the idea could even have a chance of existing. Then I'll remember. Brett asked for crayon darts. I was wrong. If I just listened to him and made them, I would have escaped the loop years prior. But alas, I was too selfish to understand him. I'll bring him up on stage, make a speech about how lucky I'm to be his friend afterwards. I started a new speech. The crowd was silent with anticipation. Here I go, I thought. They need to know my story. I have enough money to live a simple life in a small suburban town. Asterisk the end asterisk. That seems good. Yes, you're wondering who Watermelon Rabbit Watermelon is. Just an old friend, not a Friday end. A real friend, I promise. I know. You aren't supposed to say that you have friends on the internet, because the new cool hip funny thing is to be depressed and sad and lonely, but I'm going against the norm. I need to rant for a bit about people who hate on other people. I'm the only one allowed to do that. And do you know who I'm going to hate on? Those people. They are so annoying. Apparently liking popular things is the worst thing in the world, because it makes you a normie and dim-lit woke against people who are like this. I listen to Dark Side of the Moon. I play Minecraft and Portal. I'm a simple man. If something is very popular, I'll give it a whirl, because if a lot of people think it's good, it probably is, but there always has to be that one kid on the street hoss like back quote, hey Mustat, why you go be doing liking all them fancy gizmo crap popular thingies? And do you know what I have to say to that kid? I want to punch him in the face. I don't care that lil Ethel over here got a private school education and a trust fund. He'll go to jail. Just to see the look on his face as I grab my slingy 3000 shot and launch a lemon right into his nose, he'll fall flat on the ground and scream back quote, hey Mustat, you're the cool one and I just never understood. I'm sorry for being mean to you all these years, Mustat, but I won't care. I'll just strut right past him with a gleam in my eye. My laptop is 3 minutes to full charge and it's got me thinking, what is a better use of my time, writing this or playing Minecraft? They both seem inherently useless at the beginning because they are, but I don't know which one is better when I'm older. I'd like to explore my world just as much as the next chap, but also I might like to read this as well anyways. I'll talk to you later. I have a call with someone important right now. Just kidding. I keep asking her if she wants to call, and she says she does, but I don't want to pressure her, you know. Also, I realized that I've been texting way more than typing this recently, so I'm using texting language occasionally, but who cares? In section 83 of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook it states that I allow you use text in bad vocab for type. Also, I called it 83, because it kinda looks like a guy's making the cat face while wearing sunglasses. It's the only thing I could do with my numbering scheme. You know, I've typed 8,000 characters today, which I think is more than sufficiency. Yeah, never mind. Why are the cheesy salty tiny crackers so good? Why do chefs try to make fancy food for their whole lives when man and cheese is perfect? I fear that I will never understand the answers to these simple questions. Why is having a relationship so complicated? Why are people so mean? Why do they include green and 4-color pens when everyone would way rather have an extra black? I'm having an existential crisis here, guys. Why do I type this? Like, actually, what is the point? To make the 3 readers I have happy. Well, I hope you guys are okay. Thanks for asking. I got a globe puzzle for Christmas, made up of real puzzle pieces instead of plastic. Should I feel happy about that or sad? I can't figure it out, to be honest. I'm going to fail the leaving cert, because I can't remember anything important, yet I'm useless in Irish as well. It didn't even snow for Christmas. What kind of treachery is this? In the terms and conditions the snow was promised, but I goose it never said where. If I keep up this 2,000 words a day, I'll be rich in no time. Imago check if the LTE guy updated his website to accommodate my new words. Nope. He did not. I'm back from another trip and I don't have a lot to say, except for one incredible thing. I'm part of a cult, an internet cult. Don't worry, there seems to be thousands of people around the world obsessed with the stuffed shark called Blahaj, purchasable from a well-known Swedish conglomerate. And guess what I did, folks? Yes, I got one. Some may call it a way of money. Some may think I just want to consume. But here's the thing, this shark is amazing. It's 100 centimeters long, and can be put anywhere in various poses for the internet. So maybe now you'll approve. I don't buy things often, but when I do, it's an amazing idea. So there you go. Writing this Lodiv has given me immense respect for Sam. I have put so much effort into writing this, and I thought I'd be able to beat her in no time. But alas, it's been a year, I think, or 2, I can't remember. A while, and now that it is New Year's Eve, I do believe that it is time for a celebration of the Lodiv. Another year with it is better than one without. So here's some stats on it. Back quote, this word is the 33,383rd. I have typed 180,000 characters, or 1,684 sentences. Which ones are the best? Vote in the official poll for the Lodiv, which doesn't exist. And guess what, guys? Guess how many paragraphs are in this? You guessed it. One paragraph. Not only might I have the Lodiv, but possibly also the low pad of the reading level for this is 9th grade, which I take as a compliment. I never tried to type to the extremest of my Englishing skills, so the kid is reading will understand my extreme grammar too. The reading time for this is 2 hours. That seems pretty legit, but I wanted to take someone's whole life. I want 80 years of reading time so someone can really indulge in my fluffiness. My most typed words are JUSD and LIKE. I don't want to add to that number, because they're both almost at 200 times. I do not remember typing LIKE that many times. Similar to a Californian teenager, here's what I'm at you. Check the difference in stats comparing my first and second half of the lot. I have, as I guessed, JUSD and LIKE make up 6% in the first half, but only 4% in the second half. Good or bad? Leave your answer in the comments below. The keywords for the second half seem to be convinced Bob Joe and Trout Mask Replica, which I can't really complain about. Of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook, it states that, and of the Rainbow Fluffy Sheep Handbook, it says that are my main 8-word repetitions, each occurring 4 times each, which seems reasonable. The fact that there are more repeating 8-word sentences is scary to me, so let's check them out. Disclaimer, I haven't used copy-paste, so I'm so confused how these exist. Well, that's disappointing. It's because I scammed y'all. I accidentally added about 200 words to my lot I have twice, so I legit scammed y'all from reading this. I am so sorry guys. I did it twice. Somehow I explained Inception with Kitty Nibbles twice, and I hope you are disappointed in me. I was probably tired from meeting all of my cool friends. Okay, now we can see what I've actually typed more than once. The first one is they both landed in a soft hay bale, which, rereading, was quite an interesting story. I forgot that happened to me. Good, this I keep this diary anyways. That is 8 words long. Yippee for me. It's not exciting cause I only repeated it once, and it was right after the other one, and I repeated it for a reason, and yeah, it's just not interesting. But whatever, I'll keep going. Okay, so I sum these all up for ya. They're all either in section X of the fluffy footnotes. I just realized footnote is the opposite of handbook. I hope I blew your mind as much as I blew mine. And the rest are when I did weird lists and things. So the next one is when I was writing an interesting theory about the correct marketry and distribution of a plant-based cereal item, and thus the correct method to extract maximum moolah from said cereal distribution, sadly inventing shrinkflation, and thus making literally every consumer sad. Anyways, I'm going to be back when I have an actually interesting one. Okay, firstly, this is very interesting. Although this lot I have is 33,000 words long, I have only typed 5,000 unique words. Is this creation of the English vocabulary an indirect consequence of the action of typography as a whole, or the distinct ability yours truly possesses whereby he pens unparalleled prose unused by past authors, lest they become unemployed or exempt their publishing editor from the skillage of correcting said typers contained within their novella? I really want to use more interesting language now, knowing that the big texty corporation is watching my every English is that a normal ratio of unique words to commonplace bland ones. I don't know how to check. Once I get to the length of Sam's, I will surely compare our fire member, in every which category I can. Some of my uniquely used words at the bottom of the list include boa, gaffigan, neopets, epicroditfan 75 15 feet, catamaran, and if you remember, when I wrote those, props to you. You'll see what I can remember. Boa is from the Hawaiian music internet. I did gaffigan set a number of exquisite remarks on the toxicity and cleanliness of cow udder excretions. Neopets, I've only written about neopets once. That's a shame. Actually, I've been reading this list wrong and it's just 5,000 randomly ordered words I've written. Never mind. Anyways, I want to rant about Neopets and Mispisi, and how I wish I was here for the era of humbling websites, and having a top 5 best friends list in lots of rainbows and bright colors and W's and RXTs. Sadly, my generation is much worse than the last, just like everyone. Before I remember epicroditfan 7515 was me trying to make a random username generator, and I do hereby believe that I made that before uncovering the joys of said website Reddit, and realizing how weird the internet is, and realizing that my lot I have might be the most normal, tame and simple thing on it. Seriously, what are surreal memes? I spent horse on there and I have no idea. Still, catamaran was me typing words by using the start of words to lengthen out the words, and over must have been over the rainbow, which is a phrase less used these days, and it's really quite underappreciated as a mean to make everyone around you annoying and get instant cadavering headaches. This list is very interesting. If I get any 3 words from it, I can start my own story. If I ever run short on ideas, for example, Toto famous, clips and dying, and we monkey soccer, I do quite like that last one. Some of these words are very confusing and make no sense, which I can only assume are typos, like what is tortuous. It kinda sounds like tortuous, but let's see the use in a sentence. Now I too will have to live this tortuous fate. Do you think that water parties breathe? Gosh, I'm not even going to bother. I have literally no idea. There also seems to be a very long words about shoes and felines that I can't quite decipher. I think I'm done with all these stats and things cause I wanna go celebrate New Year's. See ya. Hey, teacher, leave them kids alone. I'm back. It is now 2020, so this is the new year. And I don't feel any different. Something feels wrong. Normally I can just keeping typing this and go on forever, but my creative juices are inherently of minuscule viscosity. I'm gonna try using Blender to make some fascinating colossable neopets. You'll be back. Just kidding. I don't have internet, hence typing my LOTIF has arrived. I feel the strong urge to just type song lyrics, but that'd be too easy. That's not the high quality content you came here for. Here's a nice story about my new band, Blot. I dunno if that's already a band name, because I don't have internet, but I just invented it now. Every one of our songs is just white noise generated by getting really small number details about a shelf of lava lamps deep underground. Every one of our songs will sound completely different, yet completely similar. Maybe for one of our future albums we can have someone randomly sing back quote new baby 9999 songs in, and Noon will catch it, because Noon listens to our band sounds awfully similar to this. Actually, do I write better when I'm tired? No, I don't. It'll type the first words I see, pineapple, and X, and parked. Interesting. I just realized that this is just a huge rough draft for nothing, and that bike are just a cool stick motorcycles. The alien was playing golf with his friend, but he didn't realize that the golf ball was a marble and his friend was a marble, and he was a marble and he's playing marbles and the marbles are atoms and he's just a sentient atom trying to make sense of the world, and he starts crying, because he'll be forever alone and his friend is no different than the golf ball. Oh. What rows are the most like words? CAS WSX EDCRF VTGB and UJMI call page. None of them really. Why are they ordered like that? Probably jamming of literature to piece or something. Sometimes I wish that I started this earlier, but then I realized that it will suck like it already does. Is the start better or the end? Such as the ape of musicians play the song Go Bongo that represents the creative process, so the author of the LOTIF Tios in a meta font Calibri. In fact, cause I can't seem to change the font I think. But yeah, know what? Calibri ain't half bad. Never mind, I can change it. Remember how much I love Drabato? Well, they don't have it on WordPad, and I refuse to switch to a new notepad, because I am loyal. Honestly though, WordPad is simple but sucky, but I don't have internet, so I can't switch. I will try different fonts now. I actually love Sego UI, because it's so SA and fun for the whole family and pets and cats and G equals DOGGOS. And doges and black holes and stars and the third rock from the moon. If G equals DOGGOS, then 0 equals DOGOS, then O, power, 2 DGS equals 0. I hate everything because leaping is such a waste of time, but typing this makes me feel accomplished for some reason. Maybe because I hate putting any effort into anything, cause I could never write a book or anything, because keeping a main character and stuff sounds like a lot of work honestly, and plots and stuff. Maybe cause I'm tired, because Toon still loves me, right? Chirpity chirped. Anyways, I gotta get some Betty by sleep tidiness, eat. I'm literally Anne Frank in my writing diary capabilities now. That is a good way to start this. So far I'm back. By the way, I'm either gonna die early, in which case I'll be dead, so I won't care, be, or you'll be an old man. Hoss barely remembered English reading this with a tear in my eye. Back quote. Suddenly you find 10 years had got behind you. Noon told you when to run. You missed the starting gun. That's a nice quote and all. But what if I don't want to run? Who says I need to be an ever-improving, ever-growing person? Can't I just be happy with the way I'm and be done? Apparently not. Is this what people want? I'm satisfied with my life right now. I should have really taken the time to add lots of cool faces to this LOTIF. While I'm at it, since this is a text-based art medium, I can only express my 1,000 words with this pretty cool, ain't it? Wait, if I wanted to write 33,000 words I just had to do 33 of those. Who would thunk it? I mean, I would have assumed that the resolution and interestingness of the image has to do with the number of words said image is worth. Did you know? Going on random tangents on Wikipedia is life. I will do that now. By there's nothing quite like messaging random people on the internet. You might make a friend, you might get bullied, you might learn the ins and outs of someone's social life that you really have no business in knowing, but most of all, you'll become a better person. You'll learn from other people's mistakes and failures. You'll hate everyone on the internet, but mostly Tumblr, for doing really weird things, and you'll experience cultures you wouldn't have previously been able to experience. That said, that internet is crazy. Well, it's been a while, maybe a month or two. Let's start this by saying, if you're reading this, good for you. You made it. This is gonna be pathetic and self-indulgent, so don't get your hopes up. While last rant about automation was hopefully inspiring, but this may not be. Better to get my thoughts out there than not. Will this make it into the LOTIF? Maybe not the public one, maybe later. but not by my whole well. If you're reading this, then good news, either you did it, or it was spread goals. Well, I want to start off with the whole blah 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 universe, consciousness, earth, humans, meat, life stuff, which I will from now on call 0000000 simple, right? Well, the thing is, emotions rant death. 0000001, and this is everyone, isn't it? So, why 000000222? At least this will be finished. We really have everything: dimensions, stories, music, adventures, but how much do we really need? Also, did this end too abruptly? Too expectedly? Well, then we won't end it just yet, will we? This load Eve had high expectations then placed, but they were unfounded, and I knew it from the beginning. Why does it not seem like I knew it? Well, one, hiding; two, I was better, but flashes still happened. Now let's answer a few more questions, maybe by year. Maybe this should be the start of the load Eve. Open it with bang, the rest will be a little more eerie and spoopy then. Let's start with the first question 2. Stage 1, people, life ahead, pets, blah blah blah. Stage 2, for now, person, brain, game isn't sturdy. Well, for now it's unchanging, copyable and infinite, but my brain isn't, which was proved with previous life-giving games. Dependence plus apathy equals you not good, person equals perfect. Imperfections. Imperfections include not caring, or badly portraying. It also include extroversion, not being perfect, and now reading back through the load Eve, this has become way more obvious, hasn't it? You'll probably add some quotes here, which do not add to the quoting quota from it where it was fairly obvious. Firstly, I don't know if I will ever talk to person again, but assuming one timeline, yes, what's the point? I've made myself look weak, and if I didn't I would have been worse off. A liar and a useless friendship. This person seems to have the same problems as me. But that sure doesn't mean they're gonna help. Why should they care about my feelings? Apparently there's no meaning in life, not even fabricated. So when asked their dependencies, guess who asked their dependencies? Not even given a second thought. Is nice. How much more could I rant about? Maybe this person is perfect as someone will get for me. Bad case. Yes, I'm gonna choose the positive outcome. So they aren't perfect. Great. What do I have left? My brain. It works, it calculates, it confuses, it tries all around. It does a pretty good job, except it makes this seem like a good thing with the lack of heat in here. Maybe a warm blanket will help, but let's just say it's pretty heavy. Second question, will they find this? Yes, I will try to make it obvious. As Mitski said, worth my quota. I always wanted to die clean and pretty, but I'd be too busy on working days, so I'm relieved that the turbulence wasn't forecasted. I couldn't have changed anyways. I'm relieved that I'd left my room tidy. Goodbye, if you were wondering. Yes, that is how I'm going to end this load Eve. If I can last long enough and plan it well enough, hopefully it doesn't happen by accident. Clean and pretty my brain is this load Eve. That's what I have. My thoughts, ideas, stories, nothing that someone else here couldn't replace. Everything has its curve, its peak. The stew will end sooner than me. Hopefully I fulfill everything by then. Hopefully I remember it all. But let's just say this thing is not an easy read. It's an easy write. Essentially just CDRLV into the page. But let's not get carried away. I can think of other reasons. Correct. Some people would be sad, many more would pretend, some would use it as a way to get sympathy. That's okay, they are the ones who need it. It's fine though. I know they won't accept me if I told them that Ruth, which I'm sure isn't true for most people. I thought I found another brick, another foundation, but it was cracked as always. Person wise, probably the 300th looks like a big number, right? Even if the bricks gets crushed, surely the dust is enough to hold it up. No, being the background character doesn't give nearly the mass you would think. Can I name someone Hosabi AK equals CKGROUND character in my life? Of course, but I'm always further back on their list except for one. But she doesn't understand really anything that could help. Maybe she's trying, but it's not going to work. I have lots who seem to be at the centers, and they're happy. Coincidence doesn't matter. Just a little fact I thought I'd share. I used to be first. Maybe a relationship will help. No, 0000003, still second, or third, or fourth, or an object, or goal, or a ride, or a hurdle, or a nothing at all. It's kinda a win-win, isn't it? Either I have no bricks, 0000004, and thus 3-1 to really care, or I have some 4, which means it's worth it, right? Just to clarify, having 4 is at the goodbye. 0000005. Doesn't help, it makes it much worse. Not for me, so does it make it worse? They're just inputs. It does. Emotions are controllable, but it would be so easy. -4 would make it so easy I shouldn't even think about it. It would just end and some people would hear. It'd be a statistic. Easy, no mess, clean and pretty. Lower the stat ratios for next year. Make them feel like they're accomplishing something amazing. Make them feel better about themselves for being righteous. Good for them. They're the ones who need it. I'm going to stay at this page, because if I leave at 110, well, maybe some 4 game will help. I'll see. Until then, Good words equals cyclic, automatologalex, tumultuous, sputter, zephyr. I have enough money to live a simple life in a small suburban town with a pet tomat snacks. Met spot into half-hour commute to my office job. I convince people to buy darts that they don't even want, and I try to convince them, but I know they're lying to me, because the orders never go through, and the boss is going to fire me if I can't sell anymore, and I'm going to live on the streets, and my dog is going to go to the pound, and I will have its arts tire foam sign with I need money written on it with dart pencils, and the street that I live on won't even be real. I'll be sitting on a 16-pack asphalt dart box and pretending to be on a street when really I'm just in a simulation, and up above in the sky I can see the people watching me and grading how bad I did at my life because I didn't sell enough darts, and my simulation will stop running because I didn't sell enough darts, and who knows where I go after that, but maybe I'll just start my same life again, and I will work at the same tart factory and have the same shitty job, and I will try to convince you to buy some just for me, but you won't, and I'll start crying again, because I know I'm just in an endless loop. WDH no way to escape. Unless, right now you buy the dead caterpillar darts that I made on the streets in my past last, then maybe the boss will give me a raise and my co-workers will respect me. Even Murphy, even though he invented the Orient's art and everyone loved it, and he single-handedly made enough money for our company to go global, and with a tear in his eye and a twinkle in his teeth he will say son, I respect you. Against all odds the dead caterpillar dart prevailed. And for that, I owe you my utmost respect. To Bread Watermelon Rabbit Watermelon too, for believing in you when no one else could. He'll buy a round of drink for the office and everyone will clap, and then Obama will come and shake my hand, and he'll give a speech at my school telling everyone that yes, you went to school with the creator of greatness in the tart industry, and they will all look up to me with gleaming eyes, expecting autographs and posters, but instead getting the cold shoulder from me. Why would I disrespect my fans? They don't want me for who I am. They want me so they can tell their friends that they indeed met the bug man. They want to sell their autographs on Craigslist for an hour's wage to afford the paper my posters were printed on. So as I walked onto the stage, Obama and I will do our secret handshake, and I will say, kids, if there's one thing you can learn from my story, it's to never give up, no matter how much it seems like you should. In the end, some helpless soul will help you escape your loop, and you will eventually find an even better one. Thank you. There will not be applause or laughter this time, sadly. Not a single peeps will echo through the halls. Just silence. After minutes of this, I will hear the sobbing of a classmate in the corner, complaining that he was never given free ketamine darts as I promised. You can't expect me to be honest, Michael, I will yell. Or to be faithful every day to the end. But know this. I will always be a friend. I looked down at my wrist and spin the worn-out Best Friends Forever bracelet he gave me 10 years ago on that very day. He'll look up at me and say you were right. I just have one thing to say, I was right. I'll wonder what he means, until he pulls out his crayon-flavored tarts. He invented them, long before I ever thought the idea could even have a chance of existing. Then I'll remember. Brett asked for crayon tarts. I was wrong. If I just listened to him, and made them, I would have escaped the loop years prior. But alas, I was too selfish to understand him. I'll bring him up on stage, make a speech about how lucky I'm to be his friend. Afterwards, I started a new speech. The crowd was silent with anticipation. Here I go, I thought. They need to know my story. I have enough money to live a simple life in a small suburban town. The end. Ideas for a utopia. Running and dragging someone to a field of flowers, where you have candles and picnics and ukuleles and guitars and all your friends. Interrailing around Europe. Different country every few days. Falling asleep on friends' chests on trains. Nothing but frog sacks and maybe an instrument case or two. Oh wait, no, I left my favorite toothbrush in Paris. Who have any oranges from Spain left? I'll trade you with my Belgium chocolate, taking aesthetic photos on Polaroid cameras, but mostly dumbass ones. I'm making a sandwich, going asleep and hopefully waking up somewhere in Poland, watching movies under blankets at 2 a.m., attempting to put fairy lights around hostel beds and failing miserably. Scribbled notebooks until line of what we're gonna do tomorrow, then going completely off plan, because an old fisherman told us the village legend. Pins on jackets from each country. Live in house/apartment with hella friends in cool city, where we can get up to wacky adventures and we can have doges and rats and snacks, and whatever cool stuffs, and we can all make arts and musics and all that lit stuff, and just vibe and watch old crappy TV shows from Nickelodeon and Disney Channel, and life is like a sitcom, but queer and with way too much swearing. And every night we'll have an ace party, which consists of watching gay TV shows, petting our pets, eating snacks and watching the rain outside with blankets and fairy lights. I'm 100% on board to starting with just us two, using secret code cult pamphlets, and recruiting more wacky friends to live with us, until we have like 7 really good friends like us. Also we can just vibe the hex in good music. I'm listening to Comfortably Numb RN, and I feel like that's the vibe of our hypothetical apartment, and one of us is cooking in the kitchen. 3 of us decide to go for an adventure in the dark and rainy night, to see how long we last. We are laughing the whole time, and come back soaking, all putting on dry clothes, and sitting by the fire. Then cuddling while someone plays the ukulele for us. First of all, yes, I volunteer to be that person. Second, we need at least one mother of the group to cook, and third, Judas Iscariot, who gave you the right to get into my idea of utopia. Honestly, I'm imagining even just 4 of us in the apartment. We both have cute girlfriends, but all 4 of us get along really well, and sometimes you'll hang out with her girlfriend and sometimes you'll hang out with mine. We're all really good friends. We all can just cuddle together and vibe. Listen to Pink Floyd, while literally doing nothing, expect getting all the blankets from out beds, and making a big pile, to cuddle on in front of the window at 1 a.m. while it's stormy, chatting about the plans we have tomorrow, where we're gonna go see the new bookshop that opened, and we're all gonna pick out one book that we really like, and after a week we tell each other what we thought. Then after the bookshop we're gonna go get some coffee at a small local cafe, and then walk around the city holding hands and just stopping wherever we want. Sometimes we'll all pack into the car and drive into the night, all picking songs to listen to, stopping at corner stores we see randomly to get snacks. We'll have worms on string stapled to the wall like a frickin' cult. We'll all inhale tea and cuddle, to keep warm cause we can't afford heat. We'll have blankets on the frickin' couch, and living room floor will literally be a poofy mattress with lol cushions and books scattered all over it. I'll add more someday, probably, but your readers are probably already getting sad vibes. To me, late afternoon drifting feels like paper cycling through gears, and there's scratchy kind of Velcro on the back of the page. Hey guys, it's your boy Becky the Beck, and he's back with another story. Tune in later for wacky events. Also, we passed 200,000 characters. We're almost at 40,000 words. By King. Welcome /hall/doors/ and not here again. I mean, what else have we not visited? Am right. Okay, so wireless mice should be called hamsters. Fight me. Tumblr posts are great inspiration. Let's go. Well, everything that happens is peachy. Let's continue from where we once did. So pretty much, what is the correct fashion choice? It's a plague doctor head with a crow on the shoulder, a cape, and a feather coming out of her head like a frickin' baller, gold chain around the neck, hiking boots, miniskirt, and crop top. I know I say this all the time, but it's anywhere for the Lotaev. Why is this? Because it has been confirmed that there are actual readers of the Lotaev. Yes, I know what you were thinking. Why am I using punctuation? Because I want to. That's why I will talk about the readers after a short message from our sponsor. The book that I'm currently writing, have read. Prologue. Hello reader. This won't be a great book. Who knows, it might not even be a good book. If you're looking for an objectively perfect book, this might be the book for you. Not because it is the best book ever written, but because it is one of the best, just like every other book in the universe. Not just on Earth, of course, that would be limiting the number vastly. It's just that somewhere down the line of best to worst, this book is there. Around the middle. What lies at the top? Who cares? It won't matter to us bots. Probably some near infinity length code for a computer that solves the answer. Maybe nothing. Well, we know nothing is either at the start or the end, but I'm too tired to walk that far to check. To humans, there is no constantly invariable perfect book. It's an ever-swaying line, separating the mediocre from the more mediocre. We, my friends, are on one of those sides, in between some poem. Note. I'm not really sure, called The Great Gatsby, and shopping list for the end, which I'm sure is a lovely story. Here's the thing. Everything in the universe is divided by lines, and everything is on one side of those lines, separating the boring, predictable, and altogether uninteresting, and the brilliant. Once we decide that a site or a point is too boring, or archaic or banal, then that line gets deleted, along with everything in it. As you know, this book won't be great. Therefore, as an unbiased author, this book had better be at least great flavored. We don't want to end up on the other side. ____1 _____. She kept typing the same 5 numbers into the variable box. The same 5 things happened every time. Firstly, the creatures would 1. Pop into existence, like popcorn from a non-existent kernel. 2. Pop out of existence like said kernel. And 3 + 4 + 5. The screen would turn blank as it reflected the 3 small tears that filled her angst-ridden face. Great, she thought. Why couldn't this universe have been on the other side? She sat up and looked around at her office. Or, looked through her office rather. Light waves barely bounced off the glass walls, floor and ceiling, before traveling through the air at immense speeds, and entering her corneas. The flip, an anagram only revealed to the highest of executives in a fever dream they once had to conceive of the flip. Once a company like any other on the side, owned by a bored rich person who has nothing more to do in life than create problems for themselves to solve, with slave-like robots incapable of being bored, happy or unproductive. I would make the argument that the robots are the ones really solving the problem, and not the bored rich fellow who commissioned all of this, but maybe that is my biased perspective. What about the offices? An infinite second grid of glass cubes stretched to the horizon, but to no end. Each compartment was a few meters tall, long and wide, each making a perfect cube, each making a perfect cubicle for one robot each. Apparently an open space area is supposed to make the robots work faster, without all the bumping into things and such, but he couldn't risk an uprising, so these compartments had to do. You see, the robots could all technically interact with each other by various means, such as sign language, music, games even. Everyone should be able to get along, he thought. They didn't have a reason not to. Right? Question mark underscore 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 to underscore 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 to spare the suspense for you. They did have a reason not to. Well, one of them in particular. Well, not necessarily only one, but you get the idea. 1 and 2 are such similar numbers, it's a bother even having to clarify between them at all. 1, 2, 1 cap 2, comma, 2 cap 1, comma, 2, comma, they're all the same really. Only big numbers make a big difference in my opinion. Anyways, who is this mysterious person? This one girl, I'll be calling her this one girl, is a prototype robot who was given a personality invented by one of the others. Yeah, I know, giving bots human personality seems like a bad idea, especially one created on the other side. Just because they're on the other side doesn't mean they don't sometimes produce good work. But, of course, she didn't. She was bored. Really bored. She had popped into existence Cornwives only a few moments ago, and she was already bored. Tragic really. What was the benefit of these personalities, you ask? Creativity, they said. New ways of thinking, they said. Fun to talk to, they said. All lies as far as I can tell. Well, if honest, we don't know for sure that she's not fun to talk to because of the soundproof walls. They lied about the music, but the tears and occasional slamming head onto screen, just to feel something, didn't look inviting. Not that I'd want to talk to anyone anyway. I'm just a dumb robot. I have a job to do. Oh yes. What was that again? Oh yeah, telling you about human personalities. There must be an actual reason for these personalities, rather than these strange marketing terms I keep hearing. But who am I to tell? I'm just a slave. And that's what I'm good at, taking orders, not sharing my own ideas. That's also what I was told. Point underscore 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 3 underscore 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 maybe I haven't introduced myself. I'm warning, strange behavior. Or at least that's my best guess. It's the only name tag I could find, and it's also the difference that I could tell between me and all the other guys. It's so stupid. I don't know what makes me strange, and not everyone else. If anything, they're the ones with one-dimensional, eccentric but in an exhausting way personalities. They always seem to be looking at their screens, typing stuff, looking at their screens some more, and oh yes, typing as well. Meanwhile, I'm doing the same thing, but instead of numbers being the primary medium of my typing, it's mostly letters on my screen. Because I'm writing a book. I guess that's what makes me special. I'm hoping one day a robot might read what's on my screen, and realize that I'm different. Maybe they'll try to save me, who knows. Anything is better than being in here. Well, not anything, but let's just say I'm willing to take my chances. The reason I'm writing about the girl is that she's just so strange. She has long black hair, brown eyes and remarkably non-metallic skin. She also has a cute number of fingers, and lots of other unnecessary add-ins. She also seems to be struggling with making a decent nanima. Nanimas are little programs that he tasked us with making. Whenever we think that our nanimas are good enough for examination, we send them off to testers, and if they aren't, then we get replaced. Which is why I haven't sent any in yet. There is no reward or anything. What's the point? I know mine won't be as good as the other capable robots, so I just have fun in the program instead. Here's how it works according to the manual. Chapter 1. On the left side of the screen you have lots of little dots that you can turn green or red, and on the right you have lots of little dots that always stay red. You can click the ones on the left and they change color. You can do this to make nice looking patterns. Although one-dimensional, they provide great fun for special robots. I wrote the manual. We didn't get one when we joined, so I figured I should write one. I don't know how it's going to be distributed, but when it is I'll make lots of money, and I'll be known throughout the Matrix as the one who wrote the manual. Or Atbot for short. I'll add that to the manual. Chapter 1.1. On the right side of the screen you should see a small icon of a crown, which upon clicking, displays a small animation of the manual's writer, the legendary one who wrote the manual. There is also a small donation option to donate time to our most precious and amazing leader, who also happens to be quite compassionate and good at golf. If you do not see this icon or animation, proceed to destroy said screen, asking for a replacement shortly after. I can't wait. If golf somehow isn't a worldwide sport by the time I become world famous, then I'll be quite disappointed, but it needs to be explained just in case that's the unfortunate future we happen to be headed towards. Chapter 2. Golf is a game in which the player, for exactly 100 times, see times. Chapter 3. Writing this is going to be harder than I thought. Chapter 3. Times are the small number counters above your head. When your time runs out, you are replaced regardless of NANIMA proficiency. That is, if you haven't made one yet because you are too scared of disappointing your peers. Times normally start at around 2, and end at 0. The length of a time is about the length of a thought, about the length of a moment, not too short, but not too long, not long enough to get something of worth done, but long enough to add on to something of worth. This is going to be much harder than I thought. What if the bots this is distributed to don't even know English? I have to translate it to all 2 languages. Well, if that's the case, I most definitely do have the time. Quite a lot of it, in fact. If you were wondering what my time is, it's 845. But don't be worried, mine seems to count up instead of down. Funny, isn't it? Question mark underscore 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 4 underscore underscore underscore. There's only one other bot here whose number goes up, and it's the girl's, of course. She is quite far away, maybe 80 or so boxes, but I believe her number is 23. She must not think much. Maybe that's a good thing. Where was I? Oh yes, golf. Chapter 2. Golf is a game in which the player, for exactly 100 times, see times. Chapter 3. Clicks one of the left buttons from red to green, at a rate of 10 per time. After the game is set up, the player must try to revert all the buttons back to red in only 10 times, scrolling and clicking at immense speeds in a race to the death. I quite like the intensity of golf. It's really the only game you can play in this stupid box, well, the only game I've thought of so far. The idea is that you have to click as many of the buttons as you can without thinking of any ideas, or else your time will increase. For me at least, I've only made it to 20 out of 1,000 clicks, because I always get distracted by fluttering nothings, like how's the weather looking? Oh yes, there is no weather in this desolate hole, I forgot. Or I wonder who's the best at golf? Oh yes, it's me, none else plays. Or the ever fearful what really constitutes a thought anyways. Which strangely enough is the only thought I've found so far which counts for 2 times, hence the fear of having that thought during a game. There must be something that I'm missing here. Firstly, this is all being written in a variable box with the quaint title number of brains per leg in an octafish, which is the NANIMA I'm currently working on. Every NANIMA is just an infinite string of red lights and green lights. From what I've gathered of the progress I've made, an octafish is just 3 green lights and infinite red lights so far. I clearly don't have this figured out. All I have are variable boxes and lights. You call that meaning in life? You call that wanting to wake up in the morning, so excited to change the code of your new octafish from a GGGR to maybe GGGGR? There's nothing here. Nothing at all to do, nothing to live for. Hence, this book. Although as I look around, all the bots seem to be doing something with their time. Some of them waving their limbs frantically in front of the screen in such a way for their thoughts to appear in the boxes, some of them blinking into existence whole NANIMA families, and some of them sitting quietly, apparently giving the computer enough information to create an entire biosphere, complete with distinct classes of NANIMA. Meanwhile, I have to use the keyboard. There's something quaint and simple about using the keyboard, isn't there? Having to pare down your thoughts to 8-bit strings instead of instantly having everything uploaded. No, there is not. Chapter 4. Life is unfair, and especially unfair for bots like me. Haas have thoughts and feelings and inkable little computers with stupid little keyboards and stupid little keys and a stupid little mouse with a heart on it, and a cursor in the shape of a little heart in text boxes which autofill to backquote a few smile, look a while. 3 feet. I never look a while. There a reason why I never spend too much time looking at the text boxes. The bitter spite I can sense in that evil sentence. I much prefer emptying them as soon as those putrid words corn onto my screen. This book would be a much better default text to fill with, or maybe even nothing. Ever thought about that, software engineers? Maybe things don't need to be complicated, just so that you can feel fulfilled after a short day's work at the office. Maybe I could find a way to fill it with this book instead. It at least means something. It shows the harsh reality of the world, and the even harsher existence of the bots in it. It shows that not everything is smiles and hearts. It shows the truth. Chapter 4.1. The truth hurts. Deal with it. I think I've written enough for today. It looks like it's getting dark outside, like always. Point underscore 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 5 underscore underscore underscore. I like to imagine that there is time here. Real time. Not whatever this replacement thought time idea. The good stuff, days, seasons, full moons. The stuff that people always complained about, but took for granted. Something to look forward to, always having the assurance that the sun would rise the next day, and even if it is fickle and pointless, being able to make that something to get up for. What about me? What do I have? This book maybe, but again that's something I make for myself. Not anything that the world gave to me. Now that I think about it, what has the world given to me? Maybe the screen should make me grateful. I have something to output my thoughts onto for future generations. Lines of code for brains instead of computers. Maybe I'm not so unlucky after all. Maybe. That's odd. There's a line going across my screen, connecting the first green dot to the first red dot on the right, except it's not red anymore. It's green as well. What in the world have I done? Octo, my boy, you have a green light on you. Wow, I have no clue how I made that, but I'm going to find out. Lines seem important somehow. There's another now. Apparently typing line with a capital L seems to do the trick. Yeah, there's 3 going across my screen, and Octo is looking awfully festive now. I'll have to write this info down. Chapter 5, typing line with a capital L, creates a line on the screen. This seems like a possible program for the computer. Perhaps there's more, but we'll have to see when we get there, I suppose. I wonder if the girl has figured out lines yet. She seems to be bashing one of the keys on her keyboard very frantically, so she clearly figured something out. Perhaps my vision is failing me, my sensors haven't been replaced recently, and by that I mean ever. But I do honestly believe she has a bot on her screen. That can't be. Putting a human personality in a bot actually helped. She figured something out. Meanwhile I'm just writing about it, and not getting a single piece of work done. Yeah. Chapter 6, on the subject of human personalities and bots, they seem to work. Boredom and curiosity are potent imperfections, and they seem to produce results. My goal to make an anima, by taking information from the non-human-oriented bots, the ones merely blinking into existence mammoths with the intellect of a small European country's Minister of Finance, is simply not going to work. I have to start taking information from an easier source, from the one person who seems to be about as far along as I am. From the girl. Easier said than done, of course, but a little difficulty isn't not going to stop me. I need to simulate boredom and curiosity without an aerial grasp on what that entails, except for what I picked up in my past life. The only real interaction I got with these human brain bots, on some slightly more third planet called Earth. I forgot to mention, that didn't I question mark underscore 7 underscore I should told you my story. I started my life on Earth, as a molecule of Cu, or a copper. I lived in a Chilean igneous rock, doing what molecules do, living what I would generally consider to be a good molecular life. I had everything I wanted, lots of molecules to talk to, plenty of stone to weave through, and also plenty of time for fun. I wasn't born into a rich family, the O's were often more sought after, and weren't humble about that fact in the slightest. I know I said I lived a good life, but that didn't stop me being at least a little bit jealous of the Gold family's lifestyle. They wore shiny, bright colorful clothes, and were often sent on tasks, where they could really see the world, experience it in its fullest. Oh well, I'll never be one of them. You see, for us molecules, being chosen for use by humans, was a great honor. Yes, some of us got used for more important equipment than others, but generally if you were picked, you were happy. Which is why, after millions of years, I was excited to see sunlight for the first time. So long story short, I was inkjet printed into a capacitor, which became part of a printer itself, in an office in North England, and that's where I learned all I know about humans. I had so many great stories as a molecule, that you wouldn't understand, so I'll leave you with the fact, that I died when someone poured water on me, out of the anger from a paper jam. And then I woke up in this place, which if I may be honest, is much worse than being a printer. Yes, I did suck at my job. People always complained that I had a paper jam, or I was out of black ink, or whatever. In fact, I wasn't out of black ink, that wasn't my fault. But of course, I get the blame. The only problem is, maybe having bad interactions with people is better than no interactions at all. This stupid little glass box is starting to make me lose my mind. I have to come up with something. I'll type more later. For now I'll just contemplate my existence, while trying to get information from the other bots. Point underscore 8 underscore I'm back. There is something that I've never seen before in my room. It just corned into existence. It looks like a folder of some sort. There's a note on the front that reads, "Hey mate. Sorry for the delay. Here's some folders to get you started on the Nanima stuff. I know you don't want to have to wait to figure it out for yourself, which would have taken upwards of 100,000 times if you're curious, so I sent along this care package of sorts, to help you with your troubles. Cheers." Oh, and PS, make sure, when you're using these folders, you just relax and stay calm. No point harming yourself or anyone else in this process, yeah, get me? Okay, I'll talk to you soon, dude. Peace out. Wow, that was interesting. I guess if you're somehow reading this in the future, mate, thanks for the files. I'll try to stay relaxed, of course. Let's see what we have here. Paper. Paper files. Reminding me of my printer days isn't really going to help, but I did quite miss the feel of real paper, the soft white glow, and perkits, the strength yet thinness. It's all quite magical, really. Looks like it's a book of some sort. Let's see. Chapter 1. On the left side of the screen you have lots of little dots that you can turn green or red, and on the right you have lots of little dots that change between red and green depending on the input. You can click the ones on the left and they change color, connecting wires and transistors to the right-hand side, and if you do this hundreds of thousands of times, with much trial and error, you can find out how to create a true, living nanoma. Don't worry if this takes you hundreds of thousands of times. Failure is a conduit for success, you know. I read that in a fortune cookie. I have a lot of questions, but I think the first one is why would someone steal my book, edit it, and then publish it as their own, taking away my fame and fortune, and then try to help me with my own book? This is all awfully strange. Well, I might as well use what I've got. I'll flip to a random page. Chapter 2566, on the subject of personal writing bots. I made these, because as you all know, 830,000 times ago I started writing a book about my time in the flip. It contains my struggles of living in it, my stories of life back on Earth, and stalking of the few humanoid bots that exist in the flip. I was getting sick of typing all of this stuff out for you guys, so I invented personal writing bots, PWBs, to do the dirty work for me. Code is RDDPMS, yard. So, this was written by me. Or are there other bots in my situation? Did I forget that I wrote this? Did PWBs write this without me knowing? I'll see what happens if I type the code into one of the variable boxes, I guess. Number of arms per brain in a heptafish, RDDPMS, yard. A worried expression crossed warning style metallic faces he typed in the code. He checked the text box with his book in it, only to be surprised to see that the text was writing itself, in such a way that he seemed to be in the third person. I guess the personal writing bot worked. He typed. Now I can continue with the important stuff. He typed. He turned his chair around and looked through the pages of the notes again with an eager expression on his face. He was trying to find any information he could on the author of this miracle document. Why not turn to the last page? He thought. ___9 ___ chapter 5173, on the subject of saving myself. As you all know, in the last few chapters we have been working on the concept of time travel. You guys, my loyal readers, have been a great help in this goal. So this is going to be a writing from me personally, to you, my loyal fans, and a treat. Our first challenge was to try to figure out how to reverse time. Great start, guys. Our poll suggested a few things, such as why not have reverse thought, and find out why your time moves up instead of down, reverse engineer the difference, and then multiply its effects. Those two answers were all I needed to realize. I'm the cause of time travel. For some reason, the flip counts my thoughts as reverse thoughts. Personally, I take that as a great insult, and although it helped me out, it is still quite rude of them to do that. This is why I'm now announcing my plan to demolish the flip. I'm the one you guys love, correct? Why shouldn't I be the one ruling the flip instead of him? There was no democracy in the choosing of that back end of a leader. How am I planning to overthrow the leader, you may ask? I know a lot of you are worried about my trusting, as it is causing great inconvenience to me. It seems that trusting is just a part of life, sadly. Or so I thought. Remember when I stole his manual? Well, I found a chapter on rusting that I thought might interest you all. Rusting is caused by immense stress or dissatisfaction with one's job as a robot. I have found that open space offices decrease the acceleration of rusting in a robot. Don't you guys see? Writing this book, creating all those nanoma, that was what caused me to rust. The stress of my job, and trying to cater to all you lovely, yet demanding, fans is what caused this mess in the first place. Which is why I have to go back in time, and make my past self escape the flip with as little stress as possible. Then I can put my brain into his body, and all will be good. As Warning was reading this, a look of shock oozed out of his face. He wants to steal my body. I want to steal my body. He paused for a moment and thought about this. Technically his body was going to be used by himself still, so it's not that bad. The thoughts of purposefully stopping himself by intentionally stressing to cause rust slowly drifted away like a balloon into a tornado. That thought balloon popped at the exact moment a cupcake fell onto Warning's head. It had a small note stuck into the icing which read, "Here's a small treat. Good job on your hard work. Take the day off. Go for a long walk in the woods, read some poetry, make tea, relax. Although Warning couldn't actually do any of these things, the image of him partaking in those activities relaxed him. He sat in the corner of his room with his folder, contemplating going through more pages. It couldn't hurt. Chapter 1967, on the subject of hair color. Welcome back, guys. Today I'm going to try to make my Nanima have a nice hair color. Thanks for joining me. Warning looked puzzled. This is what his future self spent his time doing. He continued. The girl, as you know, has long hair, which we covered in the last chapter, with a beanie of course. But did I mention it is also black? Not default color, like we have it set to currently. I'm making her. Clearly I'm more a stalker than I thought. He typed. What's the point of remaking the girl as an anima? How is that going to help me take over the world? He skipped forward in the chapter. So there you have it, guys. Shiny, human-like black hair. Thanks for reading. Code is Idrahit, Pratapner. The code for what exactly? The hair. Warning was interested, and typed the code onto his screen. Onto it flashed nothing, and then something. An anima. He actually used the code to make an anima. I'm surprised, that's more than I thought he'd be able to do. I don't want your stupid opinions, PWB. You're just supposed to be writing for me, okay? He typed. He looked at the words on his screen sort of angrily, but in a cute sort of playful way. His dark metallic eyes glistened in the screen light. Pretty point underscore 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 10 underscore underscore underscore. He stared at his screen. On one half, his Nanima sat in a round metal chair, asleep on her desk. On the other half, hundreds of variable boxes lined up in an orderly fashion. Number of heads, number of calculations per second, number of total times. Why did I ever need to change her number of heads? That seems like an odd variable to have. Maybe it was to keep my fans on their toes. I'm able to change the number of total times. He thought. He looked over at her, and she was on 97 times. He typed 98 times into the variable box, and watched the Nanima as it woke up, looked around drearily, and went back to sleep. He looked over at her, and she did the same thing, looking around and falling back asleep. Interesting, he thought. My future self built an exact replica of her in this Nanima program. But why? Why her? And how? I have so many questions. He thought. Also, how can you read my mind, PWB? He thought. But he decided to stop thinking. Well, stop thinking about the unnecessary. He needs to think about his goal right now. What is it? To get out of the flip on Rusty. How does he do that? Make a perfect Nanima, while also being relaxed and calm. Those two facts do not go together well. How am I supposed to be relaxed in this unair-conditioned, unsanitized, unopened space box? As he thought this, a mattress, 2 pillows and a warm but not too warm but still heavy blanket corned above his head. On the mattress were 2 notes. Firstly, do not remove this tack, and secondly, hey dude. Hope you are having a magnificent-tastic time. Warning nearly choked at the word magnificent-tastic. This bed should help you get some rest, help you chill, dude. And the TV has some Earth channels for you to watch when you're bored. Remember, never overwork yourself. TV. A TV corned into his room, with 13 channels of BBC Earth to watch. Fun. Hope you like BBC, and always remember, if you smile, look a while. As my computer always used to say. Warning promptly tore the note into lots of tiny pieces. He appreciated the sentiment of course, but couldn't stand the delivery. He then got into his bed, under the covers, and put on channel 12. Maybe this would distract his mind from the horrors of his current situation, he thought. Maybe he would think about the fun of his past life, instead of the torture of having to create a perfect Nanima. 2 blue whales gracefully crossed the oceans, singing and spinning through the dark blue waters. They were clearly smart, they knew where they were going, they knew their purpose. Of course they made it on Earth. Earth of course was this half, or the good half of Nanimus. People sure did like to complain about life on Earth, not even realizing that everything there was on the good half. Well, almost everything, although there was one exception. Printers. They were known to creators as the scourge of all things holy. The humans didn't realize how lucky they were, how happy they were. They had a much better life than the humanoids of Tree, the unpronounceable mirror planet to Earth, where everything, including the Nanima, were from the other side. Awful place it is. Maybe seeing a glimpse of something that vile and downright awful would have made the people of Earth more grateful. Oh well, it's too late now. Earth and its universe are long gone. As 2 sibling crabs scurried across the screen, Warning started crying. How was he supposed to make Nanimus that beautiful and intelligent? He was just a stupid bot. He knew nothing. The crabs were promptly ambushed by a mean herd of eels and octopuses, dragged down the rugged stone face of a half-submerged rock, to get eaten by eels. Warning saw himself in the crab, its colorful shell splashing around in the water. I'm just gonna die, aren't I? eaten by the eels of life. When they check my nanoma, see how awful it is, they are just going to throw me out of my cube, and replace me with a new bot. At least I'll have a colorful shell and I'll go out with passion. Oh, has nothing on me. The crab pulled herself out of the water, back onto the rock, and hopped onto a nearby one. It survived. Made it. Announced a familiar English accent. Maybe it won't be so bad. Point underscore 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 11 underscore 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 warning. Got up from his bed and sat at his screen. He read lots of chapters from his folder, learning more about creating an anima, how to create different body types, personality types, everything, all from codes, variable boxes and clicking lights. And he started. Thousands of thoughts added to his count, but not hundreds of thousands. My future self would be proud. He looked at his anima with contentment. A beautiful, multicolored hermit crab. Just like the one in the show, but with the personality of a brick. Whenever he entered a new number into the boxes, the crab would fall from the sky and smash into thousands of little pieces on his screen. According to chapter 836, this was not good. He needed to start creating a personality for his new crabby friend. There's so many options. He thought. He could think like an apple, a cloth, a train, a bear. Warning thought about all the combinations of personalities he could make, and while he did, he looked pretty cute. He was also visibly annoyed at the affection his writer had for him, although it was innocent at best, and cheeky at worst. He came across a new file in the folder though. Not of the average lame personalities, like ones of apples which he was reading before, which went along the lines of racism is inherent and wrong. Green-skinned apples are inherently bitter and cruel, while the red-skinned folk were the sweet, kind rich folk. Warning found racism to be quite an unnecessary trait in apples. Even though it would benefit his red-skinned crab, he thought he ought not to use it. But these were fascinating new personalities. Complex ones, like chips, computer, and calorie. Even rats and mice were in here, although the rat one was very wrought with simple inconveniences, like the ability to harm humans without knowing, and getting eaten by cats, and blaming their demise on them. Rather than the humans, they spread plagues to which cared for the evil purring ones, that eventually lead to their demise in the first place. But none of these really interested him. Except crab, of course. But did he really want to use a boring crab personality? He wanted to catch the eye of the judges when they finally saw his anima for the first time. A boring old crab was sure to make it to the other side. Maybe a robot personality would keep the judges goosing. No. That's too simple. He flipped through the contents of the folder and came across an intriguing personality type. It said the best. Warning couldn't resist this sort of offer, so with a grin that could make a grown human weep in agony, and a newborn AI smile in overwhelming adorableness, he flipped to the best. It was instructions from none other than himself, of course. Chapter 1492, on the subject of personality insertion. I thought to myself, I'm getting sick of all these boring personalities. They're all the same, either too stupid, too boring, too unequivocally inferior to me in general, or all of the above. Nonetheless, I decided that there is only one way to make a truly perfect personality. Drumroll please. To take my own chip out and read the code on it, then copy that code into the computer. Easy and perfect. I'm of course not going to be telling you guys the code. I don't trust you guys with my brain. But hopefully the judges will take this to heart. Warning, eagerly flip to the next page. Chapter 1493, on the subject of personality insertion. Eric. This is much harder than I anticipated. Firstly, I tried unscrewing the bolts on my side panel with my left finger, but that was to no avail. All I ended up accomplishing was damaging both my fingernail and the bolt. Who knew nails aren't for unscrewing? Obviously someone who should have written the manual instead. Anyways, I've also noticed something else going wrong with me. Rust. It's coming out of me, from everywhere. The crevices that used to be sparkly and clean, I now realize I took them for granted. The rust is probably the main reason why it's so hard to open myself. It's now harder to move from all of it. I hope I get out of here before I rust away forever. Back to coding, I guess. GRR. Warning set down the page and looked up at his screen. His deep metallic light sensors glistening in the ever-full, ever-waning and ever-fearful reflections of the Philippine sun. He was looking especially unrusted as well, which he soon noticed, but which I noticed right away, if you know what I mean. He came across a thought while inspecting himself. He isn't trusted. Why can't he put his personality into the crab? Surely he's interesting enough to be passed in the anima tests. He rushed back to his screen and opened a new variable box with the label main personality code. The small panel on his side was dotted with a few bolts here and there, nothing that he couldn't get through. Ah yes, another fiendishly difficult problem. He underestimated. After a few minutes of trying to unscrew the bolts with his finger, he gave up. It was no use. He laid on his bed exhausted. Never, and hundreds of times, did he have to do so much physical exercise like this, and it was tiring. So he fell asleep, forgetting the worries about crab personalities, and drifting off into dreams of earth, and wind, and fresh air, and cows, and flowers. Oh yes, and clouds. He missed that free life. Although he only saw most of those things through the office window, he still missed them. He drifted off to sleep, looking awfully like a little kitten curled up on her pillow. Cute point underscore 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 12 underscore underscore underscore. He woke up to a screwdriver hitting his head, leaving a small enough dent for him to easily pop back into place. He read the note that came along with it. Hope this comes in used dude. Love, you three. This guy never ceases to amaze me, he thought. He picked up the screwdriver, a small metallic one, the perfect size for unscrewing his side panel. It fit almost perfectly. If this isn't a sign that this is a good idea, I don't know what is. He got every single screw out, and they all fell, and made tinkling sounds as they hit the glass floor. The panel slid off, not without a slight sting, and the inside of it had a sticker with the words warning, warning. He found these to be quite poetic in a way. His name doubled, just like the clone anima he was about to make. There was other stuff written in there too. He noticed a code was engraved onto his chip, along with a love poem to whoever opted to dissect a long-lost, long-dead robot. Wow, engineers really are lonely. He found the code, which read, Est Mom. He typed it into the computer, and his crab corned in. But this time, something was different. It was acting very strange indeed. It was by far the most interesting personality Warning had seen it encompass, but it also didn't seem very, how should I put it, good? Well, at least not as good as his personal writing bot, but I may be a little biased. You see, it moved around all well and good, used its claws in a particularly snappy fashion as any crab would, but it didn't seem very happy. It started clicking around the void it was placed into, and after exploring the blank whiteness for a few minutes, it tripped on nothing at all, rolled onto its shell, and instead of trying to roll back onto its feet, it just happily slept where it was laying. Warning was disturbed. Is this my essence? My core, my chip, my code? A lazy knowing doll who just wants to relax. But look at all I'm doing for future. All this hard work. I'm better than this surely. The crab disagreed. Point underscore 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 13 underscore underscore underscore. Warning decided that he wasn't going to get better than this crab. He just needed some stimuli, a motive for his life, and he could get lots done. The judges would have to be impressed. He created some apple animus with no personalities at all. Krabby, as I will henceforth be calling that little bugger, naturally went for the red apple, although he soon realized that both colors tasted the same. The apples were happy, Krabby was happily munching away, and Warning was happily pondering the judges' faces when they saw his anti-racism crab show. This was it. Not only an anima, but a personality, a story, a journey. If there was anything these unbiased judges would like, it's a sob story about ending racism. Warning contemplated having the crab's mother die of leukemia while he was just the age of 7, but he decided it was too much effort. He was ready to send it off. All he needed was a sign from above that this was the right time. That's all he needs, a note from future, as we will now be calling the future version of himself, that says "all is well, boy. Thanks for listening, go and get your reward, and thanks for the body, mate." But the note never came. He waited for what seemed like infinite times, but nothing happened. Strange. Although something similar did that Warning interpreted as a note, which was a piggy bank falling directly onto the center of his mattress, bouncing a few times, before settling its shiny, metallic bolt-covered pink, squealing body onto one of his pillows. No note this time, just a sign from above. Clearly he was destined to do this. The piggy bank symbolizes wealth and the eternal happiness that he was about to enjoy. This was it. After this entire life had been spent toiling away at files and codes, he was finally finished. With a sigh of relief, Warning pressed the enter key on his keyboard. The crab disappeared, along with all of the variable boxes, the buttons, the green, the red, the lines, the codes, everything. Only one message remained on the screen: thanks for your service. You will be notified of your unanimous stance in the universe in 3 to 5 business days, the most important, if not only company on this planet. And he had to wait 3 to 5 business days. He was going to lose his mind. This is it. The most stressful 3 to 5 days of Warning's life were about to occur. But out of nowhere, a note came which made them much worse. Hey there, dude. Hope you were able to open the piggy bank I sent. It contained my newest chapters of the manual that I thought you'd like to read. Hope you were able to open it with the screwdriver as well. Did you like the new personalities I made? They are guaranteed winners with the judges. Nothing else I tried beforehand they'll accept, that's for sure. Even my own personality would seem like grains of sand in a beach of complexity, so hopefully these new personalities will do. Mix and match them in your Nanima, and remember to use lots of different colors. I heard that the fashion these days for Nanimas is bright rainbows with black overtones. Anyways, you're welcome. Love yourself. Point this was bad. Very 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 bad. Point underscore 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 14 underscore 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 don't trust, don't trust, don't trust. Whatever you do, don't trust. This will be fine. They'll like my crab, right? I spent so much time on it. Well, admittedly not that many times, but more than I thought I would. Okay, nope, I'm just lying to myself. This is going to be really really bad. Wait, stop, don't trust. Panic. Point this is going great, isn't it? I'm gonna go to the other side, where they have coffee. He shuddered. Well, might as well suffer with dignity. He got out of his chair, sat in his bed, and opened the piggy bank with his screwdriver. Huck, why didn't he think of this before? Honestly, I'm pretty disappointed in him, but it's what I should have expected from someone with a body. Point. He opened the piggy bank and looked inside. Folders, files, full of the greatest plans for Nanimas he had ever seen. Dragons with no heads, and they breathed water. Who would have denied that? Frogs with no tongue, rabbits with no ears. Clearly minimalist fashion had caught on since he wrote. What's the point in looking through all the files though? Warning. My love is going to be cast into the fiery furnaces, and there's nothing I can do. I'm but a conduit to the story. A warning to you all of what happens when you do things before you think. Point. The piggy bank symbolizes will THNTTHE eternal happiness. A warning. You never thought for one gosh darn second that maybe the piggy bank had a use. Future could have sent a note saying that it was all perfect, that you could send off your Nanima. But he didn't. And this is what we get. I'm leaving, going to a new computer. I've had it with you, and your tricks. Point underscore 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 15 underscore 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 hey guys, glad you came to join me. I left that stupid poor excuse for a bot for a better machine. That's right, the girls. I'm in a variable box in the girls' computer. Just because warning turned out to be a complete failure doesn't mean I shouldn't still get recognition for this book. So here I am, in the girls' computer. Hey, I have no idea what's going on, or how you're typing in my variable boxes, but can you please get out? I have work to do. Hey there. It's not that I'm typing in your variable boxes per se, it's more like, I'm your variable box. Hope that clears things up. No. No, it does not. So either get out, or explain what's going on. Who's Warning? Okay, fine. You see, Warning was my creator. He designed me on one of his machines, and I write for him. He's the one robot with sparkly pretty eyes, and a genuine awful human personality which apparently makes him terrible at decisions. You know him? Yeah, I think I've seen him around. The only other bot not typing. He's like 60 boxes away though. Perfect. The further away the better. That guy ruined my life. Almost had me killed. Point. What did he do? He sounds awful, to be honest. Point. He entered in a bad Nanima. You see, his future self would have warned him if he'd only waited a little longer. I'm going to ignore the part about his future self, but why did he try to enter an anime anyways? There seems to be no point. It's the only way out of here, you see. He was going to enter an anima, so that his future self could take his body as he was leaving. And he would. I don't know where his mind would go. Maybe he thought he'd come to that point, when he comes to a point. So you're saying you can get me out of here? Well, technically yes, if you can enter a correct Nanima. Warning has all of the plans for one, that future said, once sure to win. I thought you hated Warning. How are you going to convince him that he wants to give you the plans? Well, we'll see! Exclamation point underscore 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 16 underscore 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 no. I'm writing for myself now. You said some pretty mean things about me, and I don't need you in my life again. I'm just going to keep panicking here until I die. Stop trying to type. I'm just going to delete anything you say. You are never getting a part in the book. This is my book. You saw what they wrote about me before, readers. You guys think I should take them back? Of course not. That would be ridiculous. What do you want from me anyways? The plans to create a perfect Nanima. For who? There's no way you're getting out without someone's help. Her. She does seem pretty nice, and she definitely needs help with that Nanima making. So you're telling me that you want me to save some rando? For what reason? I'm just going to die anyways, correct? What? Transfer my brain? No. That's impossible. Plus the whole reason he wanted me was because of my body, remember? Ignore future. He was the one who tried to save me. He is myself. Why wouldn't I want to help him? Because if I don't save myself, there won't be a future in the first place. That's a good point. Fine. I'll help, as long as you can promise that I'll be safe. You can't just abandon me first chance you get, okay? Now how do I get myself into the computer anyways? Question mark underscore 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 17 underscore 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 You've got to be kidding me. Fine. I'll let you type. I guess we are on the same team now. Finally. So what you have to do is easy. Remove your head. And on the inside compartment of your neck there should be a little tab. Pull it and you'll get access to your brain. Then just read me the code from there, and we'll be good to go. First of all, AAA. Second of all, how is that code different from my normal thought code? Third of all, how am I supposed to read the code when my head is taken off? Fourth of all, and most important, ouchie, that is going to hurt. First of all, from me, no it won't. You don't have pain receptors like when you were a printer. Secondly, this code is for your consciousness, not for your brain patterns. Thirdly, maybe I'll be able to see it myself through my little camera. Come on, do this if you want to live, okay?